Virginia. Let's go.
Be ready.
Boogity, boogity, boogity.
All right.
Hold your breath, guys. Everybody down in here nice and clean.
Made it through turn 1 and 2, all clean. Inside line, the one moving right now, Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 8 car, the Budweiser car. He's trapped on the outside. He'd like to get down in front of Matt Kenseth before they get to turn 1.
Jeff Gordon's in the same boat. He's caught up on the outside, can't get down either.
And Steve Park got a great jump from 5th to 2nd. Good, clean start.
Right now we have everybody running around the bottom except for Jeff Gordon in the 24. Looks like Mark Martin in the 6 car. We have single file back to about 20th.
Kyle Petty underneath Jeff Gordon. 7th place.
And there's just not a whole lot these guys can do right now, caught on the outside, till they find an opening. The greatest news in the world from the spotter, clear low.
Yeah, and you're just waiting for him to give you a number. Give me a car number I can get in behind.
For 2nd place, that's the battle. Earnhardt Jr. takes it from Park.
That's how you make a lot of your passing, is you out-drag race them down the front stretch or down the back stretch, take that bottom groove getting into the corner, and out-break them getting into the corner.
Well, I tell you one thing. I know it's back in the pack, but Tony Stewart just put a big move on 3 or 4 cars getting down into turn 1. He was down on the apron.
Well, you heard Greg Cimpadelli, his crew chief, say we're going to be patiently aggressive. That's what you have to do at a short track. You have to be patient. But right now, Tony Stewart's in turn 1. The leader's going into turn 3. He's a half lap down already.
Gordon finally got in line, and now he'll start to work the inside and get somebody moved up out of the way.
They have Kyle Petty in the 45 kick to the high side. Jeff Green in the 30 car. Jerry Nadeau in the 25 car. He was fast in practice as well.
Ricky Craven cleared that group. He's now in the 7th position, right behind the number 12, Newman. You know, of all the multi-car teams that were here, the only multi-car team that qualified its cars close together was Penske, with Wallace 9th and Newman 12th. They're running nose to tail in the top 10. But the other multi-car teams have cars spread out all the way through the field.
And the Penske group was one of the few multi-car teams that both teams came here and tested. Ryan Newman and Rusty Wallace both tested.
Craven under Newman.
Craven's got a fast car. OTIDE looks pretty good tonight.
Craven up to 6th. You see him trying to chase the rear bumper of Rusty Wallace.
And this is not the car that Ricky Craven actually ran at Martinsville so well, but it is the car that he ran very well at Darlington and Rockingham, sitting on both the poles at those racetracks.
And that is a new paint job on there. Brian McNamara, the brand manager of Tide, told me that that's a trick paint job that they came up with. I kind of like it.
Terry Labonte underneath Kyle Petty. And Kyle just can't seem to find a home in the low groove as now Mayfield slips underneath and brings Jeff Burton with him.
Yeah, he started in 6. He's all the way back to 13, kicked on the high side. He just can't get to the bottom. Kevin Harvick in the 29 car goes by him.
Yeah, Kyle's got to be so careful. It's tempting to cut down in front of somebody, but if you watch last night's race, you do not want to try that.
You heard the spotter say clear behind the 29 car. That's what you're looking for.
Yeah, give me a number.
And Harvick's coming. He started 23rd. He is up to 16th. Ward Burton, the pole sitter, has led all the 10 laps so far. Dale Earnhardt Jr. has moved into 2nd ahead of his teammate Steve Park. And Jeff Burton has come from 21st position. Burton is up to 14th.
I'm really impressed with the job everybody did, getting this thing off, getting going here, and everybody's really using a lot of courtesy.
Yeah, what a difference a day makes.
Oh,
Darrell.
yeah, they saw last night's race.
Harvick and Burton have worked their way up from the mid-20s into the mid-teens, and Kyle Petty, drifting back now, finds a place in line. Dick Berggren.
Teammate.
Yeah, started 6th right now. He's deep in the field about mid-pack, Mike, and part of his problem was getting caught on the outside. The rest of the problem was he had to use his brakes a lot, and they are not working according to the way he'd like them to work. This is, according to some of the drivers, the toughest track on brakes. It's not the toughest. sky. Car 45, Kyle Petty, having problems with his brakes.
Now, Larry, you know, when it's damp like this, brake fluid will pick up moisture. And sometimes when the car's set for a while, that brake fluid will get moisture in it, and it'll cause your brakes to fade.
Yeah, because moisture turns into air, and that's not good for a brake system. And you definitely use more brake getting in the corner here than we do at Martinsville. I know we go to Martinsville, we think about brakes, but you're in such a high rate of speed, and you don't have as low a gear to slow you down. Matt Yoakum, what else is going on with brakes?
Well, Larry, talking about brakes, I was speaking with Jason Shapiro, who is the brake specialist for Tony Stewart. He was commenting on, you could see how many cars as they enter turn 1 are hard on their brakes. The brake rotors are glowing, and it goes back to what Tommy Baldwin told his driver right before the green. Look at this race as a 200-lap race. Anything after that is bonus coverage.
Thanks, Matt. Matt Kenseth has moved to third, displacing Steve Park. Rusty Wallace, here's your leader, Ward Burton. He's led every lap so far in that cat dodge of Bill Davis.
Excuse me, where'd you get the blimp? I brought a set of Goodyear tires. I want some Goodyear tires.
Okay, honey.
At Sears Auto Center, all Goodyear tires are on sale at the lowest prices of the season. Sears, where else?
Well, folks, everything will be decided today.
If you want to win in today's world, you can't afford to go it alone.
It looks like the red team is a
It takes teamwork and training to win, just like the winning team that builds quality cars and trucks on the assembly line. UAWGM, assembly line to finish line, teamwork wins.
Hey, Ricky, great win today. What was it that put you up front?
Just a super race car all day long. This thing handled good. Fat Back McSwain put a great chassis under us. Yates horsepower under the hood. Just a great car.
What else worked for you today?
I tell you, right when we needed a great stop, these guys cranked out 12.5 seconds, put us out front, and gosh, after that, we didn't have to look back.
Anything else off the top of your head?
Well, let me think a minute. I can't think of anything.
Give it your all. Give it Haviland.
I know I'm forgetting something.
Flat tires always happen at the worst times.
When is it a good time to have a flat, Manny?
There's never a good time, Mo, but flat tires do seem to have poor timing. They should buy their tires at Pep Boys, Jack. At Pep Boys, the price of Futura tires includes a mileage warranty, mounting, and rotation, and our best tires even have free 24-hour tire care assistance.
Wow, it feels good to be so dependable.
Help is just a Pep Boys away.
But I like changing tires.
You're different than most people, Mo.
Pep Boys, we're car people.
Armor All Protectant Wipes. Armor All Shine and Protection in a wipe.
The best damn sports show, period. It's comedy, commentary, scores, and highlights. Weeknights at 8 and 11.
22 laps, the 22 car has led them all. Ward Burton from South Boston winning the pole in this new car, the first in-house short track car, in-house chassis built at Bill Davis Racing. And Randy Renfro is slowing on the backstretch.
Caution is out. Caution is out.
That car looks like it's got like the carburetor is flooding over on it or something, because it just had black smoke pouring out the pipe. Can you believe a caution for no accident?
First time this weekend?
First time all weekend.
Second time. We had a debris caution last night.
Gosh.
We'd had so many wreck cautions there had to be debris.
Yeah.
Darrell, I think we'll see most of the leaders stay out, but I think the guys at the back of the pack, good chance for them to get 4 tires. Plus, if your car's not handling good chance to get 4 tires and make adjustment. This guy right here, Tony Stewart, he was only 6 seconds from going a lap down back in 32nd position.
And now is when I like to get out of sequence. Ooh. This is a great opportunity to get out of sequence.
Well, our leader, Ward Burton, his crew chief, Tommy Baldwin, the king of short pitting, but this would be short pitting.
But I think, again, if you're at the back of the pack, like Darrell said, come in, get those 4 fresh tires. Your hopes would be then, in another 15 or 20 laps, you get another caution, and that would put you off sequence.
Yes.
We see the back of the field starting to hit pit road, about the back 10 cars.
Sadler, Michael Waltrip, Jimmy Spencer on pit road. Tony Stewart's in, Brett Bodine, Hunt Strickland, Bobby Labonte, Bill Elliott, Rick Mast, and Robbie Gordon.
It's the rumble. It's the rivalry. It's the rush. It's NASCAR Winston Cup Series at Michigan International Speedway. The rumble, the rivalry, the rush. It's NASCAR Winston Cup on Father's Day weekend, Michigan International Speedway.
Now, Cornerstone Promotions brings you Rockin' Instrumentals, featuring 34 of your all-time jukebox favorites. These are the songs that bring back magical memories. 34 original hits by the original artist, together in this one great collection. Rockin' Instrumentals is not sold in stores. Here's how to order. Call this toll-free number now for Rockin' Instrumentals. 2 cassettes, $19.98. 2 CDs, $26.98 plus $4.95 shipping. Have your credit card ready and call now.
All month long, it's FX for blockbuster movies. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Here's my invitation.
Kevin Costner. Keanu Reeves. Bruce Willis. David Duchovny. Exciting stars, exceptional movies, all May on FX.
The strike team shoots an unarmed suspect only to discover he's an innocent man.
You shot the wrong guy.
The Shield, all new, Tuesday at 10 on FX.
You just gotta love short track Saturday night. Here we are at Richmond International Raceway. Pontiac Excitement 428 laps down. Caution out for Randy Renfro, stopped on the backstretch. And other pit stops, John Andretti, Dale Jarrett, Bobby Hamilton, and Hermie Sadler.
A total of 14 cars.
Steve Burns.
Mike, we've been listening to Jeff Gordon talk to crew chief Robbie Loomis. He says the car is loose getting in, tight from the middle off, but he's a little concerned about feeling a vibration in the brakes. Dick Berggren.
Matt Kenseth has gone from 7th to 3rd since the drop of the green flag. His problem is under the hood. He said the throttle linkage doesn't feel right to him. He can't pick up the throttle the way he wants to. To Matt.
Dick, Tony Stewart gave up the 32nd position. Not a bad move at all because his car was tight up off the corner. He said it was just killing him on exit. They made a track bar and wedge adjustment. Greg Zipadelli banking on pitting now. Kind of short pitting for track position later when the leaders have to pit.
And after pit stops, he's 32nd.
Yeah, and that brake vibration, that's just like in your passenger car. When you stand on the brakes a little too hard, you'll get some buildup from the pads on the rotor, and then when you put the brake on next time, it wants to vibrate. It'll shake the pedal under your foot. That can get to be a problem.
How about we stand on the volume control?
I got mine now turned up.
How about 34,000 horsepower? Let's crank it up.
Earnhardt Jr. gets underneath Matt Kenseth, and that's second place.
Yeah, he was all over the back of Kenseth, and Rusty and Junior both was. Whoa. Yeah, Kenseth was holding those guys up, and man, they put a hammering on him.
I think actually Steve Park and Kenseth, Steve in the one car, they got together down there in 1 and 2 just for a second.
They're both black and yellow. How can you tell?
They look like one there for a second.
They're going to be black and blue if they keep this up.
Right now they have Ryan Newman in the 12 car. They have him kicked on the high side in a line of about, looks like about 8 cars trying to get underneath him.
Hear that train whistle again.
Yeah, and what happened now, see, everybody's had a few laps here. They've kind of settled in. They got their game face on now. They're starting to play a little rough. Time to go. Crew chief's got on and say, look, can't lollygag around like that anymore. Got to go.
Whoa. Just ahead of this, Jeff Green under Steve Park. And
boy, Kenseth is just, he's going to get spun out.
I believe those boys did get together just a little bit. Steve Park in the 1, Matt Kenseth in the 17.
Man, it's battle isn't over with yet. I don't know.
Jeff Gordon on the high side.
I think Kenseth is just trying to get back in line.
You know, Darrell, I think if we get a few laps under our belt on this racetrack, I think that second groove will come in. I mean, we saw 2 and 3 grooves being used at both races here last year.
Yeah, I don't think they'll be up against the wall like we've seen them here a few times, but they could get enough to where they could pass anyway. That's all you really hope for, so you can pass.
Now, look at what Matt Kenseth has been through since they dropped the flag for the restart. First, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Whoops. Next, Jeff Gordon.
Whoa!
That was loose.
Well, I tell you, he just kind of he can't go.
Terry Labonte by him.
They're gonna bump him right onto the rear the way they're going.
Somebody to watch tonight, Darrell. Jeff Green powered his way up to 4th place.
Well, you know, he ran a little bit of the Busch race last night. He didn't get to run a lot of it, but he did run probably enough to maybe make some good adjustments on his car.
Yeah, he started back in 14th, so he's definitely on the move. But he actually ran the Winston Cup race here in September in that 30 car, one of the few races he ran last year for Richard Childress Racing.
He's come to 4th and is chasing down Rusty Wallace. Meanwhile, Steve Park sits in 5th spot. Let's go to his pit.
Mike, Steve Park is fighting a push from the center off. The crew chief, Paul Andrews, said, Steve, your car has insurance. I added air pressure in the left rear and put wedge in before we started. This will help the car come in, but it'll come in gradually.
Yeah. Well, in the meantime, I'm getting passed by everybody out here.
Darrell, it's got to be hard when that crew chief says be patient.
Oh, yeah, and you got people banging into your back bumper.
And driving underneath you.
They're all around you like bees. And they're swatting at them, and crew chief tells you to be patient.
I mean, you see by the Fox tracks right here that he continues to lose ground to our leader right now, Ward Burton. Here's the miles per hour. This is driving off into turn 3, up about 133 miles an hour, right at about 95 miles an hour in the middle of 3 and 4. We're going to see more miles per hour on the front stretch because it's about 400 feet longer. You're in the gas a lot longer. About mid-140s getting into turn 1.
Yeah, you'll probably turn 300 to 400 more RPM going down into turn 1 than you will up that little short back straightaway.
Ward Burton, it's only the 2nd time he's ever led a race at Richmond. It's the 7th race, though, that he has led this year.
Well, I watched him in practice in happy hour. And, you know, other than Johnny Benson, he was the 2nd fastest car. And he was zinging by people out there in happy hour about like he is here in the race tonight.
And I don't mean to say it's easy out there where he is. I mean, right now he's about a 2 1/4-second lead. But if we stay green and we run another 15 or 20 laps, when it becomes tough, Darrell, and you have to use patience, is when you catch the back of the field. We got a battle for 2nd right here, battle for 3rd. Jeff Green in the 30 and Rusty in the 2 car.
Yeah, you were talking about Green. I just wanted you to know that Green just made a pass.
Now he's 4.2 seconds off the lead. As you see what that looks like to Ward Burton, the race leader, down here entering turn 1. Ward Burton stays in command here at Richmond International Raceway in the Pontiac Excitement 400, 45 laps old.
Tuesday, Bruce Willis is a cop in the right place at the wrong time.
Mayday, mayday.
Die Hard, Tuesday at 7:30, followed by an all-new episode of The Shield at 10.
Now, Dale Jarrett's a race car driver. Let's give the man his due. But if people love that big brown truck, it's time he raced it too. People love the truck, now go, Dale, go. Put it on the track for a driving show. Race that truck, Dale.
Guess they're not home.
Mom?
Hit it.
Dad? You'll find any excuse to go out back for our perfectly grilled shrimp and fresh Atlantic salmon.
Son. You're breaking up.
Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
As my friend Sergio from Rio says.
Excuse me, did you say Sergio? From Rio.
Yes?
Your darkish, lightish hair? About this high? Heavy set, thin guy?
You know Sergio?
Yeah.
Come join us! Wait. Let's go see Sergio.
Smirnoff Ice Premium Malt Beverage. Drink responsibly.
And as they left the body behind, they heard.
Need to make a click call? Oh, it's not scary if you use 1-800-CALL-ATT. Just dial down the center with 1-800-CALLATT. It's free for you and cheap for them.
Save on every call. Use 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls.
What a great story.
Thanks. Have you guys heard the one about phone hands? Ah! I'm going skinny dipping.
Ward Burton well out in front. At 52 laps, he is just smoking the field.
Yeah, well, if it was Sunday afternoon, you could say he was cruising on a Sunday afternoon, but he's having a pretty good Saturday night ride here.
And you know, Tommy Baldwin, his crew chief, told me on Friday, this brand new race car, untested, Bill Davis Racing, a lot like other of the major race teams starting to build their own chassis. This is an in-house chassis.
Moments ago, Matt Kenseth, Steve Park again, and Jerry Nadeau smokes it up.
Steve Grissom got up out of the groove off a 2 over there and just now, and I don't know if he got in the fence or not. He got mighty close.
The real downside when you start banging wheels like that is knocking one of those valve stems off and having a flat tire. You don't run the safety line or the inner shield here because it's basically considered a short track.
And this is about how much patience that some of these guys got. 50 laps. They're out of patience.
Looking back from Kenny Schrader. Teammates pacing 4th and 5th.
Anybody working a top groove yet? No, everybody's single file on the bottom. Yeah, I want to know if anybody's working a top groove yet. It's pretty much single file, Rusty.
No, and that's a veteran like Rusty who runs well here, has won here, led a lot of laps. I think he probably wishes that top groove would come in. His car needs to move up some because he gets a little high off turn 4 every other lap.
He'll depend on his spotter and crew chief to tell him when someone starts working the high groove and if it's working for them.
So far, I haven't seen anybody venture up.
No, Matt Kenseth now has dropped back to 9th place. Dick Berggren.
Well, Matt had worked his way up to 2nd spot. Then he got pushed around by a bunch of other cars. Wound up in 12th, worked his way up to 9th. Crew chief Robbie Reiser, what's going on with your race car?
We're doing all right. We just got punted around a little bit on the restart there and got knocked out of the groove. And when he first could get back in line, he was back in about 12th. So he's working his way back now.
All right. Pence's car's okay. He's on his way back up to the front.
As you can tell, it's as loud down there as it is chilly here at Richmond. A little bit of sprinkles on the glass here. We've completed 58 of 400 laps.
Boy, and I tell you, this little bit of rain, if we get a caution here, that's good news for some of these guys that are back in the field because closing in up in a hurry. Ward Burton set a blistering pace.
And I mean, Kyle Petty is one of them that started back in 6th. He's about 2 seconds from being lapped.
Jeff Green is running this race like it's a 100-lap Saturday night feature. He has just bombed his way right up into 2nd place.
And we've talked about it already a couple of times, Daryl and Mike. I just feel like that what little feedback those guys that ran the Busch race, Jeff Green didn't run a lot of it, but I think he ran enough that he learned something, was able to convey it to his crew chief, Todd Barrier, make that car better for tonight. Steve Burns.
Hey, Larry Mack, Jeff Green just told Todd Barrier the race car, as caution comes out, the race car is very good in turns 3 and 4, but rain's starting to come out now.
Well, the key will be, can we keep the heat in the racetrack and keep this water from accumulating and turning that gray asphalt to black, to shiny black, which would indicate that we've lost the racetrack.
Well, the problem is that the cars are running single file. If we could get some cars running side by side, we get that vortex working better. But this single file racing is just not creating enough vortex to get the clouds lifted out.
Now, I think there's no question those cars at the front of the pack that did not pit the first time on lap 24, they'll come to the pits. I mean, because we're not going to run no 140 laps of caution should it continue to rain. So go ahead, come in, get your 4 tires, make your adjustments. But you have to be careful. As we noted, pit road still is damp. It's not completely dry.
Well, now some of these guys like Tony Stewart and others that pitted the last caution, they'll probably stay out.
But most of the field is coming to pit road.
And those guys have about 30 laps on their tires. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if most of them comes to pit road. Tony Stewart and that group, they are coming to pit road. Looks
Dale
like
Jarrett's
basically Dale Jarrett, what he'll try to do is maybe at least stay out and lead a lap and get 5 bonus points.
I think his game plan was to stay out, Dick.
Now Matt Kenseth is pitting for 4 tires and 2 cans of fuel. They're going to make a track bar adjustment to try to make the chassis a little bit better. To Steve Burge.
Thanks, Dick. Jeff Green in. They're going to make an air pressure adjustment, a half a pound out of the left rear on the 34 tires, and his service is done.
Sterling Marlin bumped a member of Robbie Gordon's crew, knocked him off his feet, but the crewman was quickly back on his feet and completed the pit stop. Very close quarters there.
It appears that only 5 cars actually stayed out. Dale Jarrett, Michael Waltrip, Hermie Sadler, Bobby Hamilton, and Frank Kimmel. Again, they all pitted back about 30 laps ago. Looks like Hermie Sadler, no, too. He's going to come to pit road now, so that leaves only 4 cars that didn't pit. Only car out of the race, Randy Renfro, retired his car after bringing the caution out back on lap 24.
Well, and Dale Jarrett started 39th. So this is what he planned. You know, he come in on that first one. Now he's got track position. Now he can race. From here on, he's even with everybody.
Matt?
Well, down here in the 22 pit of Ward Burton, no adjustments in the 22 car. He mentioned to Tommy Baldwin under the caution the car was just a little more free than he would like, but the car is fast. Meanwhile, on Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s Budweiser number 8, they made a wedge adjustment. His car was great on entry, great up off the corner, but it was just a little too tight.
Just a light shower falling, but that's enough to keep us from...
Boogity! Boogity! One more time. Boy, Mikey's all over the back of that 88. He wants to make a run on him.
And Jimmy Spencer got Ward Burton for 6th going into turn 1, and Burton's trying to get him back at 3.
Boy, Spencer drove that thing down in there, and it washed up. Ward Burton's going to get the position away. You can definitely overdrive the entrance to these corners.
Now, if you wasn't racing, you'd go out and you'd run a few slow laps, you know, get up to speed. But here, you got to go right now. There goes Mikey right by the 88.
And I tell you, Jimmy Spencer in the 41, he's almost made 2 positions in that second groove through 1 and 2, Daryl. Let's see what it does down here 3 and 4.
DJ is not very good right now, and that's going to hold him up, and that's really going to cost him. Ward Burton wants to make it 3 wide going down into turn 1, and please don't do that.
3 wide will work down the front straightaway. It will not work getting into turn 1.
Isn't it amazing? I mean, it's just like you flip a switch and it's right back where we were last night, just in one lap.
Everything but the light switch.
That's it.
And I believe definitely Jimmy Spencer's car will work right there in the second group, but DJ in the 88 car, UPS car, is holding him up. They're going to be 3 wide here with Ward Burton getting into turn 1. Something's got to give, boys.
And DJ did. And Ward scoots through underneath Spencer and starts marching back to the front where he spent the first 60 laps last night.
Well, you know, Friday night, Spencer had a great Busch car here. And, whoa.
Jeff Green gets in the back of the 2 car, Rusty Wallace.
If you're not going to go, get out of the way. This ain't no time to be holding anybody up.
Well, Jeff had to go or Ward Burton was going to get him.
And, you know, let's go back to the Busch race Friday night. Jimmy Spencer, one of those guys that run that race, he was probably the only Busch car that could go in that second groove.
Actually, he had a Busch car that could run in any groove, and it looks like he's got a good car today.
Yeah, that James Finch car could have run around the parking lot and won that race Friday night.
And the thing about those guys now, they did all their practicing in the daylight, in the sunlight. The Busch guys did. So this is probably working really good for Spence.
Right now they have Rusty Wallace in the 2 car. They have him kicked up to the high side. Jeff Gordon in the 24. Jeff Burton in the 99. They're going to take the position away from him.
Jeff Green for second. Another driver who ran the Busch race, Darrell, and practiced his Busch car in the daytime. And Green moves up to second. Ward Burton now third. Michael Waltrip, Jimmy Spencer, Sterling Marlin.
The guys are a whole lot more aggressive today than they were last night. I mean, they know they got a whole race to run now. Last night they were just trying to race the rain. Everybody's kind of getting after it right now. There's a lot of beating and banging going on back here, a little pushing and shoving.
I think when we started that race last night, there were some drivers that were concerned, was the track even ready to race on? Was it completely dry?
And something else I'm going to tell you. You may not believe us or not, but you can see better. I know we got great lighting, but it gives you a deception. There's a deceptive look to the track when it's under lights. You can see better. Now you know where you want to go. You can see that outside groove if it looks like you can get up there and go in it.
Darrell, about 10 laps, and Ward Burton's going to be leading this race again.
Well, he was bad to the bone last night. And he's back after it again today. And he's got tires. He's set to go. He's looking good for the long haul. He just needs to be patient.
There's a battle right here for 7th. Jeff Burton and Jeff Gordon. And Ricky Rudd's going to follow Jeff Burton through as well. Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 8 car. He's wanting to follow him through. We got a battle for the leads up here, guys. Jeff Green in that 30 car pulling Ward Burton in the 22 by Bobby Hamilton in the 55.
Remember, Hamilton did not stop for tires under the caution. Green and Burton did.
Good laps right there. You're about a 3rd place car.
Boy, Michael's got a problem. I think he's got a tire down. He just dropped off the pace down the back. Right rear tire.
I got a flat tire.
Heard him tell him he thought he had a flat tire.
Another of the 4 cars that did.
Yeah, he's done. He looks like he's got a right rear flat.
Oh man, and he can't get out, and he's going to cause a heck. People going everywhere back there.
Boy, they are bottlenecking up behind him and getting into turn 3. He's going to make it to pit road.
Yeah, Elliott's, oh boy, that's his Nerf bar out from under his rear bumper. It's a little small piece of tubing, but that could come off and be dangerous.
It's what support that goes behind the rear bumper.
It actually goes up in behind the rear bumper.
Show you again here, Michael Waltrip trying to control a car with a flat tire.
Well, he goes down into turn 1 there. I saw him, and he gets all of a sudden he goes loose on him, and he chases it up the hill. Right there, I think he figures he just got up out of the groove, but he had a flat right rear tire.
And everything jams up behind him.
Big time.
And Bill Elliott's going to have to come to pit road.
Yeah, as bad as I hate to say it, they need to get that car in, because that piece of metal I think it probably flew off.
Caution is on the speedway. The debris, it's probably, you can see it. We know what the debris is. But that's quite a break for Bill Elliott, especially with nobody getting into it, because now he can pit under caution, or he probably won't even have to pit.
I don't know why they bring him in now.
But what a bad break for Michael Waltrip, because he's actually going to go 2 laps down.
Here's a look at it.
There's a look at it, and everybody's looking at it. Several cars run over it. It's not very big, Larry. What is that, about a 3/4 inch piece of pipe that they put up in the rear bumper?
It's just something to give the rear bumper a little bit of support as somebody's beating and banging on it. Of course, the rear bumper is made out of a fiberglass or a hard plastic.
There it is. Bam.
See the 44 car ran over it. Look at there, right over the windshield, the 31 car, Robbie Gordon. Remember, these are plastic Lexan windshields, so you don't have to worry about it cracking the windshield. I don't know if he was going to pit here. I would have to believe Dale Jarrett might be on the pit road. He restarted this race leading. He fell back to 20th. He's on pit road along with Jeremy Mayfield, Steve Park, Mike Skinner, Jerry Nadeau, Bill Elliott, Steve Grissom. A lot of the cars at the back of the pack coming to pit road.
Yeah, Kenny Schrader, Elliott Sadler, Robbie Gordon's in, Ricky Craven, Kyle Petty, Joe Nemechek, Stacy Compton, and Hermie Sadler. Dick?
Well, Dale Jarrett's going to take 4 tires on, throw 2 cans of gas in the thing. A minor chassis adjustment to the automobile. Car is much better now than it had been at the start of the race last night, which seems like an eternity ago.
Yeah, there's probably a lot of people that were here last night that don't know that we didn't race last night. I think it's just a long race.
24 Hours of Richmond continue. Ward Burton takes off from Jeff Green and the rest of his field. Matt Kenseth and Michael Waltrip were trying to get laps back from the leader without success. And Jimmy Spencer now third with Sterling Marlin, his Ganassi Racing teammate, right behind him. Then Jeff Burton, Ricky Rudd, and Dale Earnhardt Jr.
We had 17 of our cars pit on that caution, mainly cars that were at the back of the field.
And I think Michael's a good indication of he took tires, and he's not as good as the guys that didn't take tires. So those tires don't come right in, and he's in trouble back there.
Got spring rubber down on the apron of the racetrack. Out of harm's way.
Unless it came out of my car. Then it hurt something.
Now, Bill Elliott lost that bumper reinforcement, and you saw it bounce up off over Steve Grissom's car here and into Robbie Gordon's windshield. Pow!
Look at that. I wonder it didn't stick in there.
It actually did. It put a hole in it. Again, that's Lexan. What they did, they took a piece of clear tape. They call it helicopter tape. It's what you put maybe on the front of your motor home or your truck or your car to protect the front end, and sealed that hole right up on that windshield.
That's the beauty part about having Lexan as far as windshields go. If it had been a standard windshield like in a passenger car, it just shattered it.
Coming up on quarter distance, and as he did in the long green flag run last night, Ward Burton is doing a disappearing act.
I'm telling you, he's just checking out. I mean, that car just looks pretty good. I'm telling you, it looked awesome last night. He's picking up right where he left off, right, Matt?
You're exactly right, EW, and that was a major concern for his crew chief, Tommy Baldwin Jr., is how that car would run today. In the daytime, Tommy, that car looks like it's picked up right where it left off last night.
Yeah, we were really concerned about being back at, losing a little track position, but, car stuck on the bottom past all them guys. I think all it did was help Ward's confidence a little bit right now. I think we got to start pulling the reins back a little bit, if anything. But real proud of the guys back in the shop. Brand new race car, like we said last night, and everything so far so good.
Up until 1999, Ward Burton had never led a lap here at Richmond. Believe it or not, he's never scored a top 5 finish. If this car holds true, he could break that one this afternoon. To Steve Burns.
Matt, Steve Park restarted this race 24th, but he was one of the 17 drivers who pitted. They made a track bar adjustment, went up one turn, changed 4 tires, but they had a lug nut fall off one of the left wheels rather, cost him more positions off pit road, currently being shown 35th.
Now that's something, Larry, that could happen. They glue those nuts up on those wheels. They could have done that last night. That glue gets too dry, too hard. When you hit that wheel up against those lug studs, they'll pop one of those nuts off. So might be a product of the things laying there all night.
Yeah, I mean, the glue they use is a weather strip adhesive. It's made by 3M. It's a yellow glue, and normally about 3 to 4 hours is what you want. You don't want that glue to become hard. You want it just to become tacky.
I don't know why I won't stick to the lug nut. It sticks to your fingers forever.
But yeah, the 2 best cars from last night right now are the 2 best cars today. Ward Burton in the 22, Jeff Green in the 30. That was by far the 2 best cars last night.
And I don't know, but my experience has been when my car is good, it's pretty hard to mess it up. You can put tires on, you can do about anything you want to it. It's just good, and there's nothing you can do to hurt it. And when it's bad, sometimes there's nothing you can do to help it.
Our serial scoring brought to you by Rent-A-Center shows you how Jimmy Spencer's night and day as Mr. Excitement has gone from 30th at lap 20 up to 3rd place right now.
Yeah, I think he's settled in right there. I think he's pretty happy. He's kind of in a little zone all by himself. Be a good place to ride for a while. Sterling's getting a challenge from Jeff Burton.
That's 4th place.
Ricky Rudd, the 28 car, he was trying to get up in there as well, but Sterling slips back in line before Ricky Rudd can get up that left rear quarter panel.
All right, Darrell, who would you rather have behind you, your teammate or your brother?
Well, it'd be good if my teammate was my brother. I guess I don't know. I tell you, it's been my experience that guys don't pay much attention to who's in that car. They just, the next car you got to pass.
Well, Jimmy Spencer just overdrove turn 3 and way up the racetrack. Jeff Burton in the 99 pulled right up to his rear bumper and brought Sterling Marlin and Ricky Rudd with him. Jeff Hammond, what's going on down there at the Hollywood Hotel?
Well, I just thought I'd let you guys know. I talked to Jeff Burton this morning. I was asking about his car and what he thought about the weather conditions. And he said, man, I'm telling you right now, I really think I've got a great race car. I said, well, can you run with your brother? He said, if I can work my way through traffic without knocking the front fenders off this car, I can outrun my brother. That's a pretty strong statement, as good as Ward looks here today.
Well, he's backing it up right now, Jeff, because he is all over the back of Spencer, and he's getting up off it too really good. Well, Michael's in trouble again, guys.
Brett Bodine got in the back of him, Darrell, and sent him up the hill at turn 2.
He's getting punted around all over the place.
And you see Kurt Busch in the midst of that pack. Kurt Busch had a little brush with the concrete here.
Whoa, he had a pretty good brush, because the right side of that car is pancaked.
And this is his backup car. He wrecked his primary car almost right out of the truck on Friday before qualifying.
Here's a look at it.
I tell you, this is pretty hard lick. Looked to me like, just judging by the side of his car. Yeah, bounced off there pretty good.
And Darrell, what happened, you carry a lot of speed off turn 2, and it's almost like the racetrack turns too quick. It's like it should go on out a little bit, and you're just carrying so much momentum, you're just getting to the outside wall of that right side.
It's holding you, and then it just dumps you all at once, and the back end will hop out. And it doesn't do it every time. You'll be coming through there one time with the wheels turn left, wide open, and the throttle feels good. Next time you come through there, wheels turn left, wide open, hit the fence. Tony Stewart there looks like he's just kind of riding along. Him and Bobby Labonte both. They don't look like they don't look all that good right now.
But remember, these two cars, Bobby Labonte and Tony Stewart, they had to start at the rear of the field because of changing motors. Qualified up the front. Matt, what's going on with Tony Stewart?
Larry Mack, Tony Stewart restarted from the 25th position today. He came here and tested. His car was extremely fast off the truck, but what Greg Zipadelli and the Home Depot crew did, they made their car react poorly so they would know how to adjust it back to where Tony liked it, the comfort zone, so to speak. Last night, his car was extremely tight in the center of the corner. 2 pit stops to try to adjust on that Pontiac. But the second stop, they never really got a good run to see how their last adjustments did to the race car. Tony reported today the car is much, much better today, currently riding in the 17th position.
Yeah, he's got some damage on the whole right side of that car, like he got into somebody. Right front fender shoved in. Probably in, yeah, you can see the nose is beating it. I mean, he's got quite a bit of damage to the car. The nose, the right side.
And then we think that may have happened when Michael Waltrip was trying to get to pit road with that flat tire. I mean, there was a lot of cars stacked up behind him.
Did you see that, Mike?
Yeah, Jeff Gordon just put one on Junior going into turn number 3 and squirreled him up the racetrack. It did not change the position, however.
No, but it will, because Junior will say, now don't do that anymore, because I'll let you go if you quit doing that.
This is a battle for 8th.
Meanwhile, Ricky Rudd has moved up to 5th.
Junior goes up the hill, and that's what you do.
There.
You kind of let a guy know you're there. You don't wreck him. You just let him know you're there. And then if he's smart, he'll move up the hill, and he might just give you a little nerf back to say, I didn't appreciate that.
But he can't stay up that hill, or he'll lose more than that one position.
See, one thing that makes this track tough is for a car to be good in 3 and 4, it's way too tight in 1 and 2. The way you come off turn 4 and the track opens up is what your car's got to be tight. You get over to turn 2, you don't want it to be tight. You want it to turn. You push it loose over there, and that's why they jump sideways the way they do.
It's not going to be many laps, though. Ward Burton, our leader, the 22 car, he's going to be in the lap traffic, and that's going to be exactly what Jeff Green is going to be looking for, is traffic for the leader.
Little bump and run here at Richmond.
Budweiser, with the crisp, clean, and refreshing taste known only to the king of beers.
Matt Kenseth has passed leader Ward Burton to get one of his laps back, but Burton is now starting to mow down lapped cars.
And I got to tell you, if Ward Burton will just control his emotions, be patient, there's nobody that can run with him. He's fast. He's the fastest car on the track. Car looks great. He could win this race, but he's got to be cautious.
Boy, if you ever have to practice patience, it's in lap traffic.
Well, on a short track like this, I mean, you know, you got to just be careful. You don't want to beat the car all up.
Now, I know he's 4 seconds back, but in 3rd place, Ricky Rudd was 14th when this race got the green flag to restart on lap 76. He's now worked his way up to 4th place, and Rudd is coming.
We also talked about Matt Kenseth. He's still 1 lap down. Remember, he has about 15 laps fresher tires than the leader, and that's what enabled him, I think, to drive by Ward to make one of those laps up.
And another of the cars we talked about in the mid-race show to watch when we got back to the green flag was Jeff Green. And Jeff is still doing a great job right there in 2nd place, half a second behind Ward Burton.
Yeah, actually, in traffic, Ward and he are the same speed, 22.3. But behind them now is Rudd and Jeff Burton, they're 22-1s. So they're closing a little bit with the cars in traffic.
And what will happen, these cars trying to stay on the lead lap, they will fight the leader, Ward Burton. But once Ward Burton has went by them and a second, third place car catches them, they won't wrestle them quite as hard. There's no reason to.
And between those two groups, Mr. Excitement, Jimmy Spencer holds on to third place. Let's go to his pit.
And Jimmy Spencer has been told by his crew chief, Doug Randolph, that he has the fastest car on the speedway. Lap after lap after lap, Spencer is cutting the quickest lap times. He has pitted, came in on lap 62, and took on just 2 tires. And he's this quick, Mike Joy.
Thanks, Dick. Spencer in third. Behind him, Rudd, Burton, and then rookie Ryan Newman.
Got a pretty good race to the lead now. That traffic has slowed Burton up to where Jeff Green is right on his back bumper.
Ryan Newman, he is having a good run. He was one of the teams that tested up here, and he told me the other day, it was 95 degrees air temperature when they tested.
Might have been a good day to just go home.
Here's that battle for the front spot. Jeff Green having, I would say, the best evening and day, the best race of his Winston Cup career so far on the trail of Ward Burton. Newman and Jeff Burton locked in a battle for fifth.
When your car takes off, when you come out of turn 4 here and the car starts to push up, it opens the door down underneath you for somebody to come under you, and it really makes that's what makes this track fun to watch.
Now, this 55 car, Bobby Hamilton, he's on pit road. This is a scheduled pit stop. He was running in 12th, but he has not been to pit road since lap 24, so he ran over 100 laps. He was forced to come to pit road under green here.
Well, he'll be fine if we don't have any cautions. That'll all work out just fine for him. Eventually, you get out of sequence, he can end up in great shape, but everybody's got to pit under green for that to happen.
Comes the leader's off turn 4 right now, 40 miles an hour down this pit road. He's probably going to go 2 laps down.
But stopping now, Hamilton's on a 2-stop race.
Yes. He could do it on 2 stops should we go green the rest of the way, which is doubtful, but never say never.
No, and this place can go green for long periods of time, particularly when they're just everybody's minding their manners, and we're pretty spread out right now.
And blend in off turn 2 and try to get in there. And he's going to be much faster than most of these cars. So that's one thing he's going to have to be cautious. He's going to be catching cars with those fresh tires at such a rapid rate.
For more on his stop, here's Dick.
Hamilton did not make a scheduled pit stop. The reason he had to come in and pit was he had a tire going down.
Yeah, but he was close to having to come to pit road anyhow because he had not been on pit road since lap 24 of last night. But he still has a problem because even with fresh tires, he's up the top of the racetrack and they're just going by him.
I watched Michael when he came in and put tires on. He did the same thing. It took him about 5 or 6 laps before he could ever finally get back up to speed. They got the air pressure so low in these tires that you just can hardly, it's like having 4 flat tires.
We are 1/3 distance in the Pontiac Excitement 400. Ward Burton's Dodge leading Jeff Green Chevy, Jimmy Spencer, Ricky Rudd, and Ryan Newman. Front 5 at lap 142 here in Richmond. In the Pontiac Excitement 400. Next Saturday, the NASCAR Busch Series takes center stage at the newly repaved and reconfigured New Hampshire International Speedway. Jason Keller's taken over the point lead in the series, and coverage begins next Saturday at 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 Pacific on FX, the Fox Networks, and Speed Channel, your home for NASCAR television.
Well, right now is when there's a lot of chatter on that radio, Larry, because these cars are running enough laps now that the drivers have figured out what they need.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of our leaders have been out there almost 85 laps on these tires, about all of the top 10 or 12. So, yeah, a lot of talk about what that car doing and thinking about those adjustments coming up here shortly.
And how many people you think are happy?
Ward Burton and Jeff Green.
About 5 of them, and that's it.
1 or 2.
35 cars still on the lead lap. The last of those, Robbie Gordon, and just ahead of him, Kyle Petty, and then Steve Park. Ward Burton has led all but 24 laps. 4th place, Ryan Newman, slipping under Jimmy Spencer for 4th.
And that's exactly what he did. He slipped up under him. They were tight off it too over there.
Now, Bobby Hamilton made that pit stop, but Dick, did that cure his ills?
Well, probably not, Mike Joy. They think they have a broken sway bar arm on that car. They're not really sure what it is. I just sent a note to Jimmy Elledge. It is so incredibly loud where they are. They are right at the exit to the corner. It is a very, very difficult place to hear. And he just wrote back, may have a broken sway bar arm.
Oh, we got trouble.
We got
Dale
a big
Earnhardt
crash.
Jr. on the front stretch.
Caution. Lap 146. Dale Earnhardt Jr. pounds the wall coming out of turn 4. And getting a lap back. Earlier, Matt Kenseth had passed the leader. He gets a lap back, and it's a save for Kyle Petty and Robbie Gordon, who were falling into the clutches of race leader Ward Burton.
He was right on him when that caution came out.
See some damage on the back of Schrader's car, too. I don't know if that was from checking up.
And we have about 35 cars on the lead lap, and I would say all 35 of them will probably be on pit road right here.
Okay, Kyle, I don't know if I can't see that side. Right side.
Oh, he just spins coming off that corner. I tell you, that is easy to do, Dick.
Now Jimmy Spencer is in right now. He's going to make a 4-tire change on his car. He said he's neutral in most of the corner, but he's losing the nose coming out. So they're going to try to fix that by taking a ½ pound of air out of each of the left side tires. Spencer gone. There's nobody in the pit behind him, so it's easy for him to pit.
Jeff Green getting 4 tires, just a slight air pressure adjustment on the 30 car. The only service for Jeff Green. To Matt.
Tommy Baldwin and company already getting the left side tires. Ward Burton's down and away, but he is not going to beat the 28 off pit road. No adjustments. He said the car was sliding the nose a little bit. I just don't think there's much we can do about it.
You heard Ward Burton hit the rev chip as he tried to power out of the pits and retain the lead. That burbling as the ignition shut off as he exceeded the maximum RPM. And there's repairs on Dale Jr.'s car.
Driving around, go to the garage.
Go to the garage.
Come around with him.
Yep.
He was picking the throttle up off turn 4.
What you get off of turn 4 and off of turn 2 here both is push loose.
Caution out for the 4th time in the Pontiac Excitement 400. 150 laps complete. Who spun coming off turn 4, hit the wall near the start-finish line, and has taken his car to the garage. Here's another look.
What you call push loose.
Boy, that'll hurt the rear end, Dick Berggren.
Time Junior was here, he finished 10th. The second time he was here, he won the race. Today, it's in the garage on jack stands. What happened?
I just lost the race car. Track's tearing up a little bit, and I've been pushing all day. I don't know why it got loose, but let's go.
What are the biggest problems they're going to have to fix to get you back out, Junior?
I don't know. Move the rear end back over. Looks like knocked the rear end over.
Now, they can't run with it like that. They've got the rear tire off the car now. Mechanics underneath it going to try to get it back out. Mike?
He came in here 9th in the Winston Cup point standings.
All right, I think that where all the liquid come from, that's not rear end grease. It's on the ground. It's out of the oil tank. They have to replace the oil tank. The oil tank is right by the left rear trailing arm. And what happened when he hit that wall, that trailing arm went over there and busted the oil tank where the oil for the car
You
is.
see the oil tank right in there.
So they're going to have to change the oil tank.
That's the trailing arm, and it went up and hit that oil tank.
And the rest of that oil, Darrell, is all the way around the racetrack. They've had to put Speedy Dry down from the exit of turn 4 all the way around.
See, when he hit
Jeff Hammond.
Mike, one of the things you're talking about is the oil tank on Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s car is located right here on the left rear. This is the trailing arm. So when the rear end housing went over and came up, it probably has punched a hole somewhere or knocked one of these fittings loose on the oil tank, and that is where the oil is coming from right now. That could be a big problem as far as trying to get that car fixed. One of the other things we had happen here today was Bobby Hamilton's car lost the sway bar arm. Let me show you where it is and what it does. Here's the sway bar arm that connects to the sway bar. The sway bar itself helps maintain the car's attitude in the corner. A lot of times Darrell and Larry talks about big sway bars. Keep that left front pinned down to the ground to make the car rotate through the corner, make that turn to the center better, and keep the nose down on the exit. When you lose that bad boy right there, she flops around really bad, real hard to handle through the corner into Darrell.
Oh, yeah, and of course, I just can't imagine that it came off, but I guess it did.
Well, and we heard Dick Berggren talk about he had a flat tire. These tires don't have interliners in them. If he had a flat left front or right front, it rubs the sway bar arm off before you can get back to pit road and get 4 fresh tires on. Makes a ill driving race car.
158 laps complete. Oil being cleaned up that was spilled from Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s car, and they're blow drying the track. As Chris Myers would say. Here's how our Koch family of drivers is faring so far. Ricky Rudd came out of the pits in the lead. Jeff Burton 5th, Kevin Harvick 11th. And on back, 34 cars are on the lead lap, including Kyle Petty. Well, let's have a look at pit stops, because that has certainly changed the running order here. Pit stops under this caution, Larry.
I mean, just look at the order right now. Look, they're running first and second. Ricky Rudd and Jimmy Spencer. Look at the pit stops. Versus Jeff Green's at 16.9 and Ryan Newman's 16.4. That's the reasons these two guys are running first and second, the job those pit crews did on pit road.
And here's a look at the Haviland Stars that pit Ricky Rudd's car.
Just remember this group right here. They're the reason that these guys are wearing helmets on pit road now. This is the group that 3 of them were injured severely at Homestead last year.
And here's the race off pit road. Ricky Rudd beats him out. The Richmond wrap-up on NASCAR Victory Lane All Access. Kurt Busch on Fox Sports Net, following NASCAR's young stars through this rather damp weekend on NASCAR Victory Lane All Access. Kurt Busch tonight at 9 your local time on Fox Sports Net.
And I'll tell you, he's wearing the side of his car out. He's been in the fence about 3 times off the 2 over there.
1 lap and we'll go back to racing. The 55 of Bobby Hamilton goes to the tail end of the line for pitting too soon.
I tell you, a kid having a great run. Casey Atwood in that 7 car. He's up to 10th, started 29th. New crew chief this week, Tony Furr, moved over from the 25 car, Jerry Nadeau. I believe that's going to make a difference in this race car.
I believe it is too. He's pretty good crew chief.
By demand from the stands, folks, we're going to crank it up on this restart for you. Let it rip. Considered by many to be the pre-race favorite, Ricky Rudd, first out of the pits, is now trying to take off from this field. He led 26 laps at Rockingham, 29 laps at Texas, and here on his home track, running out front.
One of the things that we always have to watch, and it still holds true here, when a fast car like Ward Burton's gets back in traffic, it seems like they don't work as good, and all of a sudden the captain gets out front, clean air. I don't care, we're only on a 3/4 mile track, but we're doing 140 mile an hour. Clean air makes a difference.
Right now, he's trapped behind Matt Kenseth that's still 1 lap down. He has a good race car, just trying to get back up there, hopefully catch a caution and get back on the lead lap after all those problems before we restarted this race today.
A lot of determination on his part. You know, it'd been easy to throw your hands up and say, man, we're 3 laps down here to whatever it was from the get-go. But he's driving the wheels off of it, trying to get back in the race.
Well, you look at Jimmy Spencer in the 41 car. That's his Martinsville car. When we were at Martinsville about a month ago, he was 3 laps down, made 2 of those 3 laps up. A little easier to do sometimes on a short track.
Well, and the other thing, Larry, is when you're a lap down, you go all the way to the front of the line. It's like starting on the pole. So that helps you get those laps back. But then when you get them back, you got to restart in 40th place, and that makes a big difference.
A big knot here, including our point leader, Sterling Marlin, and Dale Jarrett, the 88, who led earlier.
Yeah, that 02 car, Hermie, is kind of holding these cats up. And
ooh, 3 wide.
He is in harm's way, I got to tell you. And that's Harm in that 48 car.
Is he going to try it again? 3 wide in the back? No. Wisely.
Boy, Dale Jarrett in 88 car, he drove that thing in there. Oh, and it gets into John Andretti, and he hit the outside wall.
And there goes
Bobby Labonte.
And Hut Strickland misses it.
Gets by. Wow.
That all started because Jarrett, here comes the 17 car, going to get a lap back, but that all started because
he's not going to get it back. No, because Ricky Rudd's the leader. 28's the leader.
Yeah, Rudd was just way out front of him.
But that all started because Dale Jarrett overdrove the entrance in turn 3, trying to get back into the groove. He got into John Andretti, and Bobby Labonte in 18 had nowhere to go.
Yep. There's just no, coming off of turn 4 here, there's just not enough grip up high. You get out of that preferred line.
Jarrett's moving around in his car okay, but it is stuck in the mud, literally, from last night's rains. Bobby Labonte going to have a little extra rear spoiler there to work with.
See what the replay shows us, but basically what happens, see Dale Jarrett way up high here. Now he picks up a lot of stuff on his tires. He's trying to get down. Bobby Labonte, he spins around because he sees Dale coming down the racetrack. Hut Strickland sneaking by there.
And John Andretti became the bank shot as Jarrett came back down the racetrack.
See, he picks up all kind of debris on his tires.
Tony Stewart in 20 just gets by.
And I'm not sure if maybe Bobby Labonte got booted by somebody behind him who couldn't check up in time.
Right, Bobby checked up. Whoever was maybe behind him.
Yeah,
it looks like Nemechek in the 10 car, subbing for Johnny Benson. Chain reaction once again.
On board from Kenny Schrader's front bumper cam. Matt?
Well, Bobby Labonte reporting in that his car is leaking something. First they thought it was fuel. Then Derek Jennings climbed underneath the car and said it looks like it's now leaking rear end grease. They're going to pull the car behind the wall.
That's Dale Jarrett's second car this weekend. He crashed the first practice on Friday. That's his backup car.
They're going to haul Jarrett out of the really wet grass there in the tri-oval and back to the garage to see if they can make repairs. Fifth caution of this race. We've completed 173 laps, which has not been kind to Bobby Labonte today. Caught up in Dale Jarrett's spin. Here's another look at it. Both cars in the garage.
Kind of some more of that Gibbs luck this year. You know, these two teams are just snake bit.
Now watch Kurt Busch trying to snake his way through here. What about there on the outside?
But back it down, back it down, back it down. You got to open the wall. Stay right there. Come on, come on. Good job. Caution's out. Come on. Clear all around.
It all happens in the blink of an eye. Dick Berggren.
Well, Bobby Labonte climbed out of his car, very discouraged race driver, and no wonder. They've got the frame machine here to try to straighten out the back end. Big puddle of oil underneath it. What happened out there, Bobby?
It looked like the 88 car got up out of the groove and came back down. He and the 43 car got together, and I seen all this happening way back there, and I guess the 10 car didn't see it happening, so he got me a little bit in the left rear and got me turned around. I just stood in the gas trying to do a 360 there, trying to get away from the 88 because I seen him coming down the racetrack and it didn't work out.
Well, we're glad you're okay. We're getting ready for a green flag. Mike?
Well, that's a pretty accurate account of what happened.
Very little damage to Nemechek's car as a result of that little bump, but that's all it takes. And we're back under green at lap 178.
Just for the people that wasn't tuned in Friday night or last night, the reason Joe Nemechek is in the 10 car, Johnny Benson, who normally drives that car, was in a wreck in the Busch race and broke a rib, so Joe Nemechek started this car last night.
And I have to defend Joe, because when you're back in the pack like he was and something starts to unfold in front of you, somebody's going to check up a little quicker than you do because it hadn't gotten to you yet. That's what happened to him.
Ricky Rudd out front of Ward Burton, Jimmy Spencer, Jeff Green, and Ryan Newman. Here's Steve Burns.
Mike, Ryan Newman's trying to get out of a slump. 3 of the last 4 races, he's finished 40th or worse. But here today, the car is tight at the beginning of the run. Then it starts to loosen up a little bit. They raise the track bar 1 round on their last stop. To Matt Yoakum.
Steve, on Tony Stewart's last run before his last pit stop, the first 2/3 the car was running very well. In the last third, the car went back to tight, just like it was last night. They made a wedge adjustment, but the big hindrance for Stewart was actually when he tried to make his exit from pit road. He was blocked in by Dale Earnhardt Jr. He lost a lot of time, which equated to 5 spots on the racetrack. He's trying to move back up, and so is Rusty Wallace.
Yeah, Rusty and Jeff Gordon are kind of going at it hot and heavy there. Jeff cut Rusty off over there on coming off of 2, and Rusty drove it down into 3, got under him, and he's going to make the pass.
And they have Bobby Hamilton, the 55 car, 2 laps down. He's in the mix. Looks like he's going to take the position away from Rusty, trying to get back up to the front where maybe he can make those laps up.
Yeah, you know, we were talking about his sway bar, and I just couldn't imagine his sway bar was off that car, because watching it, and it was still sitting real flat going around the track. It would have been raring up if it had a bar loose.
Whatever was wrong with Hamilton's car, and they still aren't sure what it was, it appears they've got it fixed.
Cars are like that. They got demons in them. You know, they'll just go crazy on you. You'll never know why. Kurt Busch rubbing the right side up against the wall here again. He thinks he's at Darlington.
On that last caution, since we'd only ran 7 laps, we had about 4 of our lead lap cars that pitted: Steve Park, Jerry Nadeau, Hut Strickland, and Elliott Sadler.
Boy, Rusty and Jeff Gordon, I'm telling you, they're after each other.
Yeah, this is war right here.
Yeah, this is like, do you remember that one race here when the last restart?
This is a battle for 7th. You look right back there and see that 7 car of Casey Atwood. And something we do need to mention, Tony Furr, that we talked about taking over the crew chief position. He had to leave the racetrack. Our condolences to him and his wife. Tony's mother-in-law passed away, so he had to unexpectedly leave the racetrack here.
Remember last year here, guys? Come down and they had a restart, and Rusty gets under Gordon, sends him up the hill. After the race, he didn't really seem like he appreciated that much, and I think they've renewed that rivalry. And that's not
you demand.
That's not you demand. He's not asking for directions, I can tell you that.
So today, same stage, different play. We'll see how they write the final act to this one.
Well, it's a little early, but I think that'll refresh both of them's memory. They're both having flashbacks as we speak.
Ricky Rudd's got a view of Ward Burton looming ever closer in his rear view.
About 3 car lengths back there to Ward.
Can't say enough about that 22 car. I mean, that thing is awesome.
Meanwhile, Rudd's teammate Dale Jarrett sits in the garage. Here's Dick.
He's still got his helmet on, Mike, but it's going to be a long time before Dale Jarrett gets back on the racetrack, if at all, today. The left front corner of this car is severely torn up. You see the sheet metal pushed in, but much more important than that, he was hit hard enough that the left front upper control arm broke completely through. They're going to have to replace that. They're in the process of taking the hub off. Hood is off the car. There are a total of 11 mechanics working on this thing right now. Some in the left front corner, some in the right rear. This car is very, very badly damaged. I don't know whether this is worse or the car he started this weekend is worse. He's now wrecked 2 cars this weekend. A weekend for DJ.
He came in here 13th in points, Dick, and he could fall out of the top 20.
And has always had good runs here, especially since joining the 88 car in 1996. In 12 races, 9 of those races he has finished 4th or better. Always runs good here.
10 laps to halfway. Ricky Rudd and Ward Burton are just about identical on the stopwatch right now.
They are by far the 2 fastest cars. They're running 2160s. Jimmy Spencer, Jeff Green are in their 2180s. But yeah, for the last 5 laps, their laps have mirrored each other on the stopwatch.
And normally here, to tell you how good the sealer is and what the tires are doing, we usually race in the high middle 22s here. 22.20 to 22.40, 50 along in there, and we're running 21.5s today.
But what I like about this racetrack and this tire that Goodyear has, Rudd's last lap was 21.69 on lap 191. The fastest lap.
Kurt Busch spinning down in turns 1 and 2.
That would be with assist.
Yes. Robbie Gordon right behind him.
Just opens that door. I mean, you know, he's a little wide going into one, and that gives Robbie room to get down under him. And, you know, it's kind of a give and take thing.
Hang on to it. Hang on to it.
Daryl, things are so close down there. If Robbie Gordon checks up, Kenny Schrader will get into him, and so on and so on and so on.
But the one thing I did not hear out of that spotter's radio is clear. I did not hear the word clear.
Herc did a good job of keeping the thing out of the fence. He spins it around, but here come the leaders.
And the reason he didn't hear clear, he was not clear. Now you're clear on that.
Are you clear on that? One to go. Let's go back to racing.
Field bunches up behind the safety car. We've had 50 laps of caution, 6 caution periods so far.
We had several lead lap cars pit there. Only had 12 laps on their tires. Dave Blaney, Kenny Schrader, Stacy Compton, Steve Park, Sterling Marlin, John Andretti again. Matt Kenseth, he has 4 fresh tires, and he's back up there 1 lap down, starting beside Ricky Rudd, the 28 car, the leader.
Green flag.
Tell you what, if he's got his pressure down low, like several of these guys have come out on 4 tires, it won't help him much for a while. Matter of fact, it hurts him for a little bit.
Well, Rudd gets a good restart. Already pulled away about 5 car lengths headed down the backstretch.
Ward Burton's got to go. On the last restart, he got kind of trapped there behind Matt Kenseth and never had a chance to close up on Rudd. So he's got to beat Kenseth here to have a chance at the leader.
He's going to clear him getting that into turn 1.
I tell you, the old cat is purring today, boys. Oh.
Dick Berggren.
Well, Jimmy Spencer's radio conversations have become very, very interesting. Asked how the car was, he said, it's real good, but I got to quit over driving it. He also said that the groove is beginning to move up, and as it does, he thinks he's going to be able to have a better entry because he's going to be able to go into the turns a little bit more wide than he has now. Spencer, a real good car that's getting better as this race wears on.
You just got to be careful when you make that wide entry. It feels good, but you don't want to let anybody slip in under you and not know they're there. This track's a big D. I mean, the back straightaway is a little short straightaway, and then the front is a great big loop and turn, and so it opens up the bottom going into one for a culprit.
And again, Rusty and Jeff Gordon's cars have a magnetic attraction for one another.
Yeah, and still got a long way to go.
We're just past halfway.
It's a long way to Richmond.
You look right out in front of these guys, the 99 car, Jeff Burton. He'd been trying to make the second groove work. He finally gave up on it, just fell in behind Ryan Newman there, the 12 car. He ran it for about 2 or 3 laps and just wasn't going anywhere at all.
Looks like Rusty's going to prevail here on Gordon.
Well, I don't know. He's being mighty cautious, being mighty kind right now.
Well, they were coming up on Brett Bodine, and somebody had to give if they were going to get by him single file.
8 car coming back out, guys.
And Steve Burns with a fellow who sure wishes he was out there today.
Yeah, Mike, Johnny Benson here and moving gingerly. Johnny, we're glad to see you. How are you feeling?
Sore, that's for sure. Hopefully you can hear me because I can't talk any louder than this. But Joe looks like he's doing a good job. But I like looking at the interior of this car a lot better than the exterior. What they can do. I think they got a pretty good car.
Benson, who either cracked or broke a rib in that crash Friday night, was kept overnight for observation at the area hospital, and so Nemechek is in the number 10. Meanwhile, Kevin Harvick's been busy.
Like Casey Atwood in the 7, maybe bobble just a little bit. Harvick in that throttle just gets into the back of it.
That's that outside groove. I mean, it's almost, it's a half a groove, and you get the right side tires up there in that new sealer, and the car will just break loose with you. You got to be really, really cautious. You kind of play around with that. You get the right rear end and say, that feels like it's going to. Nope, it ain't there.
Harvick now 11th. Ricky Craven 12th. Tony Stewart just went by Harvick.
And you know, watching Ricky Craven in the 32 car, I believe this racetrack has come to his race car. I mean, he had went all the way to the back last night. I believe the track conditions today in temperatures are suiting his race car much better.
Car looks better with the sun shining.
It's a battle for 13th. Craven's now in 12th.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. has made repairs. He's back in the race and carrying about 80% speed.
24 right there if you want it.
Among the rookies, Ryan Newman is 5th, and last week's winner, Jimmy Johnson, running in 11th position, the Lowe's Chevy. Right behind Terry Labonte.
One of the things that Jimmy Johnson and Chad Canal seem to be real good at is to get that car better as the day goes on. So he's back there in 11th now, but wouldn't surprise me to see him improve as we get near the end of the show.
That's his teammate right there, Terry Labonte, in the 5 car. Terry's running in the 10th position. Had that good run about a month ago at Martinsville. Finishes 4th, and this is the same race car. Was brand new at Martinsville.
Yeah, Terry is quietly hanging around the top 10, and that's it's always a good sign for Terry Labonte.
He has 3 wins here, but he's still hunting that first top 5 finish of this season.
Right behind them comes Tony Stewart, who is closing and has climbed his way up to 12th place.
You can tell, Mike, a lot of these cars that were off a little bit at the beginning of the race are making the adjustments necessary, and they keep creeping a little further up. Back into the picture.
Our points leader, Sterling Marlin, has flirted with the top 5, but he presently finds himself back in 22nd place.
Now, he came on pit road on that last caution, so he's restarted way back.
And with only 12 laps on his tires, you have to believe he just was not very happy with the way his car is driving. I need to correct myself on Terry Labonte. He's still hunting his first top 5 because he actually finished 6th at Martinsville about a month ago. Well, meanwhile, that 28 car, he's done pulled out to a little over a 2-second lead. And Matt Kenseth has got back by Ward Burton, still trying to get that lap back.
And I don't know if they fixed the 55 car or fixed the 55 driver, but whatever it is, he's a lot better, and he's hanging around the front here and maybe try to get back on the lead lap. Oh, trouble down here, man.
Hard. Frank Kimmel in the wall.
Frank Kimmel just took off like something happened to the right front.
Caution is out.
Yep, 7th time in this race, lap 215. Right front destroyed.
I think he must have cut a tire down, because that thing, I looked up and he was headed for the fence at a high rate of speed.
This is one of those borderline calls. The leaders have 29 laps on their tires. They may be coming to pit road, Darrell.
Let's see, we're 215 laps.
You could do it on one stop from here if you had to.
I think I'd come.
And I believe they are coming.
Here they come.
Giving up track position. Here come Rudd, Ward Burton, Spencer, Jeff Green, Ryan Newman.
Everybody on the lead lap.
Man. Oh, boy, Kimmel's car really took a hard lick. Slicker shot up that hill.
Saw one like that here. Well, here's Dick Berger.
Well, Jimmy Spencer has slid into his pit area and aligned the car absolutely perfectly for his crew. 4 tires. Steve Burns.
4 tires for Jeff Green. He says he's tight from the center off, so they just made a wedge adjustment. Left side tires going on to Matt Yoakum.
The 28 of Ricky Rudd, the leader, is in. 4 tire change, no chassis adjustments. It's going to be a big race off pit road. The 41 is going to beat the 28. Ward Burton came in. His car was a little tight. He came in because the 28 did.
Remember a race here on the old half-mile Fairground Speedway that preceded this 3/4 mile? When Neil Bonnet was your teammate, Darrell, and he had one cut down in turn 2. It was guardrail then, not concrete, and he just shot into that guardrail like an arrow and stuck there. But the way he rocketed off that corner looked just like Frank Kimmel did a minute ago.
Yeah, the only thing that was left, the bumper, rear bumper, was sticking out of the guardrail because the rest of it went through.
It's a hard lick when you figure it's a 3/4 mile racetrack.
Frank Kimmel, though, walks away. Period. Dave Blaney and Ken Schrader did not come to pit road, and therefore
And your driver came on and said, "You really bailed me out." What did he mean by that?
Well, we had a long night last last night, Roy McCauley and myself, we worked about all night trying to figure out what we was going to do, and we probably got to sleep about 3 o'clock this morning, and it's worked out really well. You know, everybody's doing a great job. Ricky, he's really doing a great job, and we'll see what happens here. He's really happy with it right now.
The car would not cut. They unhooked the rear sway bar, put in 3 spring rubbers in the right rear, and we're back to green.
Craven will restart 13th. Now there are several cars out ahead of race leader Dave Blaney. They are Matt Kenseth, Bobby Hamilton, and Brett Bodine trying to get a lap back from the leader. 77, the yellow car right there. Dave Blaney's our leader.
Blaney's kind of liking this leading races. You know, it gets addictive. He was out front last week. Had a shot at winning up there in California, and here he is today, boys, looking pretty good.
Darrell, you said a couple of weeks ago he was having a little crisis of confidence.
Yeah, he was. I talked to him at Talladega, and he said, man, I don't know. You know, I don't know if it's me. I don't know if it's a car.
Again, Mike, you mentioned it just a second ago when we came back from break. Jimmy Spencer, look at the pit stop on these guys. But this is what these guys are doing, 14.8. That's the reason it's deceiving. Yeah, he came in third, but he actually went out first. But look at his total time on pit road versus these others. I mean, everybody else, these 3 guys are close, but look at Spencer right there, and that's the difference. I'm telling you, when it's so hard to pass, you can win races on pit road with what you do right there, what your crew does for you.
Jimmy Spencer right now is second to Blaney. He's passed Kenny Schrader. Dick Berggren.
Well, Larry Mack was talking about how good Spencer's pit stop was. Let me tell you what, when he got to the end of pit road, realized where he was sequentially, he let out a war whoop, a big yahoo, and the crew is so pumped up that they are asking to have him pit often. They are just all fired up here in Spencer's pit. They think they got a shot to win the race. Rusty, with trouble, slowing down in the speedway.
Yeah, he
Rusty got a right rear down. Right rear tire flat.
Kurt Busch got into the back of him, and fortunately there was no damage, just a bit of contact after that happened.
He slides right up in front of him because he got a right rear tire down, and he's lucky he didn't get turned around right there. He's trying to get to pit road, and here we go.
Casey Atwood gets into Jeff Burton, and 5 cars are going to pile up.
And Jerry Nadeau.
That's all because Rusty had nowhere to go. He just couldn't get down into the end of the pit lane. That 29 car's laid up against the fence hard.
Now, Matt Kenseth, he'll get his lap back. Bobby Hamilton in the 55, he's going to get one of his 2 back.
Bunch of guys are trying.
Spencer, he'll lead the race here at the caution flag.
Kevin Harvick, Stacy Compton, Jerry Nadeau are the victims of that pileup at turn 3.
And that was because Rusty could not get in. He was trying to get down out of the way. He's got a flat right rear tire. Everybody bottlenecked up behind him and caused the crash.
And Ward Burton in the 22 car, he's in the garage area. Went straight to the garage area, but in the middle of 3 and 4, he didn't even come to pit road.
The pole sitter and the best car here for most of this race has parked it.
I see no damage.
Well, let's see what happened to bring out this 8th caution flag. Watch the 2 car of Wallace.
Just trying to get down into, trying to go. There's an opening right there. He thinks he can get down right there, but Jeff Burton didn't know. I don't think he knew that what was going on with Rusty. He was going to dive to the inside, and here comes the 7 car. They collided, and the rest is history.
And I tell you, see that 29 car up there? That's the one that's really tore up.
Yep.
That was back up.
That was off turn 2. I was trying to tell him.
He's got his arm out.
Yeah, I don't know what Jeff Burton was thinking about. He gets into him off of 2. Rusty's got his hand out. Maybe Jeff thought he was shaking his fist at him and was going to dive in under him there.
And Casey Atwood came flying in there on the low side. Right there.
Yeah, he had a run. He doesn't know what's going on. 4 car just squeezes through. This is down the front straightaway here, going down into turn 1. This is when Rusty first knows he's got a problem. Car takes off up the hill. Burton gets a run on him, and they bang together. Now, my thought is that Jeff Burton thinks Rusty's trying to block him maybe as they go down into this turn. He doesn't realize that Rusty has a flat tire.
From Kevin Harvick, who was swept up in all this, and he is okay. back of his teammate, Robbie Gordon.
His teammate, that messes the front of the car up. Gets a run down the back. Here comes the 99. The force jerks him into the outside wall, and that was a hard lick.
Kevin Harvick's okay. The guys I feel for, and it's because I worked there for 4 years, the Fab Shop at RCR. This is 3 weeks in a row. This car is wrecked at Talladega 2 weeks ago. 4 out of 5 cars was tore up for Richard Childress Racing.
Kevin Harvick's all right. Here's Matt.
Well, Mike, this is the right rear tire that came off Rusty Wallace's Ford. You can see an inch or so cut, and that's the reason. That's what cut down this tire, but you can see that the inner liner did keep that tire out. Mike?
230 laps. We're past halfway, but 170 to go. 6 cars involved. Jeff Burton, Casey Atwood, Stacy Compton, Jerry Nadeau, Mike Skinner, and Kevin Harvick. Now, after that happened, Ward Burton drove straight into the garage. Dick Berggren, why?
Well, he really doesn't want to talk to anybody right now, Mike, and I surely can understand that, but there is a trail of liquid that goes from the racetrack to directly underneath this automobile and a puddle of oil underneath the car. One mechanic looking underneath. Tough day for Ward Burton. He surely thought he was going to win the race today. Will not be his day. Ward, what happened?
Broke the transmission.
There it is. Transmission on Ward Burton's car.
His brother Jeff fared a little better on that lap, involved in that crash. Casey Atwood in the side of him, and around he goes. 6 car 3. Meanwhile, Frank Kimmel, who brought out the 7th caution with his turn 2 crash, has been treated at the infield care center, and the ARCA champion has been released. He is okay. Back down to the garage, Dick Berggren.
With Jerry Nadeau, who also has just walked out of the care center, a busy place right now. What happened to you out there?
It just looked like everybody bunched up coming off turn 2, and then they ended up finally wrecking in turns 3 and 4. My car just wouldn't stop. We've been struggling really bad last couple weeks. Car just hasn't been really good in race mode. We can't get the car to turn. It's been tight today, and I pushed up into everybody. I hate it for all my fans and everybody at UAW Delphi. Hopefully we'll catch a break here soon.
We'll see you in a couple weeks in Charlotte.
Of the 6 cars you see there involved in the crash, Skinner, Atwood, and Burton have been able to continue. So has Stacy Compton after damage repairs.
You know, Stacy's got the whole right side caved in, but he's back out there and going.
And they're actually still on the lead lap. They've been making a sequence of pit stops, but getting back out before the pace car trapped them on pit road.
And Rusty Wallace, if he could have made it to pit road to change that tire, would have lost laps, is still on the lead lap as well. Casey Atwood at the tail end of the lead lap coming off pit road.
That's one of those when you look and say, what happened back there anyway? How about it, Dick?
Now Kevin Harvick walking back to his car. He's just left the care center. You all right? That was a wicked hit.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate. GM Goodwren's car was pretty good, and we got hung out to dry. The racetrack's about the most miserable racetrack I've ever raced on in my life. Might as well put dirt tires on and go out there and race on dirt. But it looked like the 99 spotter was sleeping, and Rusty had a flat tire, and Impatience behind us come up and just blasting us, and we all wrecked.
Last year, this guy ran in 2 series, had 1 DNF in each of those in over 60 races. This year, in the 11th race of the Winston Cup Series, already 3. What's happening this year?
Well, you get caught up in crap like that. You guys are the TV announcers. You tell me what's happening.
All right. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
I feel for that young man. I've been there. Believe it or not, I can remember when I was 20-something years old, and I can feel for him.
Several cars showing the effects of the 8 caution flags here at Richmond last night and this afternoon. We'll be right back this afternoon here at Richmond. Steve Burns.
Well, Mike, Jeff Gordon is having a pretty good day, but believe it or not, he said his car is pushing like the proverbial dump truck on the last stop. They put a half a pound of air in the right front, raised the track bar, and crew chief Robbie Loomis also suggested to Jeff that he adjust the brake bias, put a little more into the front brakes. That's the situation for Jeff Gordon.
Compton and Atwood pit road violations will restart at the rear as we ride with Jeff Gordon and get the restart at lap 240.
160 laps to go. Still have 28 cars on the lead lap. Other than the cars involved in that wreck down in turn 3, the only lead lap car that pitted was Dave Blaney in the 77 car.
Boy, Ricky Rudd's got to be careful here. He's in and amongst a group of lapped cars. Couldn't go around the outside. Now he's got to fight for the inside. And Kenny Schrader in third, right behind Rudd.
Restarts are always your worst nightmare, especially on a track with about 1 1/2 grooves.
Rudd gets under Michael Waltrip. A little bit of daylight ahead now.
Michael's really been struggling. His car's just not been good today. And that really surprises me because he ran the Busch race, finished fourth, and I thought he would have had a pretty good little hot rod today, but it just hadn't worked out for him.
Look at the car behind Ken Schrader, Mark Martin, in that 6 car. He has quietly made his way after starting in the 18th position up to 4th.
He's not that good, though, Larry. I've been watching him just like you said. And he got up there. I'm not so sure he didn't take 2 tires to get up there.
Look at the telemetry on Kenny Schrader here. Down about 5,800 down in turn 1 and 2. About 8,500 into 3 and 4. Into turn 3, about 300 less RPMs into 3 than into 1 because the front stretch is much longer than the back stretch. A lot more RPMs, a lot more miles per hour. You see the interval 2.5 seconds behind leader Jimmy Spencer.
Boy, that was a slick move. Did you see that?
Yeah. Jeff Gordon just kind of moved Jeff Green aside right there.
Tony Stewart was about to move him aside off turn 2 as well and then backed off of it.
Boy, this pretty aggressive driving right here. Right up on him. Of course, Tony Stewart's right down there with him. He got him a little loose getting in there. Jeff cuts right down in front of Tony.
And Tony Stewart.
Well, he saw what Jeff did. He said, that was a pretty cool move. Let me try it. Meanwhile, Jeff Green is getting his dandruff up.
Well, Jeff Green had a great car in the first half of this race.
Let me tell you, I think if he could catch Gordon back. Oh, there's a car around down there. Kyle Petty down turn 2, guys. Just went around on him. I couldn't tell if he got him from the outside. Looked like.
Lap 247, 9th yellow of this race.
Kurt Busch will not get his lap back.
No. Look at Green. Look at Green and Tony Stewart and
now
Kyle. We're over on the back straightaway having a little conversation here, guys.
Kyle got away from turn 2 and stays on the lead lap. There's a bit of hand gesturing going on there.
Yeah, they're having it now. He's going to go up here and explain that. Say, look, he's got 2 problems, 24 and 20,
and he's right between the 2 of them.
Now watch this. Watch this. He said that he can't get his attention. He drove up beside him on the left. He couldn't get his attention, so he drove up beside him on the right.
Steve?
Falling 30, 24, 20 at noon.
Jeff Green just told his crew chief, Todd Berry, he said, you go over to the crew chief, Robbie Loomis, and ask him what Jeff Gordon's problem is. He nailed me twice at barriers up on the pit box talking to Robbie Loomis. Jeff Green does not like the contact that Jeff Gordon has made.
And then when you get done with that, run down that 20 car and ask Zipadelli what he's got a problem with.
Short tracks, short fuses.
And a lot of bent sheet metal.
Yes, sir.
Put a point for Jeff Green out of that 30 car. And I don't think he was saying you the man.
Nope. He's made his point. And we still have 150 laps of this to go. Kyle Petty's made repairs and stayed on the lead lap after hitting the wall in turn 2. Steve?
And Mike, we just heard Jeff Gordon's response when Robbie Loomis relayed the message. Gordon's response was, if he wasn't letting off so soon, I wouldn't have hit him. He's letting off the throttle at the flag stand. It's Jeff Gordon's side of it.
We're under caution for Kyle Petty in turn 2. The red car, red and black car.
It's up here on the outside.
Just got up out of that groove, Darrell.
Nowhere to
no
go.
grip.
Now, up until they sealed this racetrack, people were making great passes up on the outside like that.
You could even run higher than that.
You could go all the way up against the wall down there.
So damage to the Sprint Dodge in the back, but Kyle stays on the lead lap. He radioed in and told him driver error. From Rusty Wallace's car,
right side tires up there where there's just no grip.
When she starts to get a little twitchy like that, there's no grip. Round she goes.
Matt?
Well, Mike, Jimmie Johnson is slowly working his way to the front, currently 9th. And his crew chief, Chad Knaus, on your last stop, probably one more stop. What are you going to do to adjust that car to make it another winning car?
I really couldn't hear you too well there, Matt. Right now, our car is just a little bit tight in the center. I tell you what, we have got a serious case of pit road disease. Every time we come on pit road, if we have a good pit stop, we get blocked in the pits. If it's a green flag stop, the caution comes out. If we can ever get this pit road problem we've got solved, I think we're going to be pretty good. But our car's really good today. We got one more chance to adjust on it. Jimmy's very happy with it. I think if we can get up front, get away from these lappers, and maybe have us a real good run. The Lowe's Chevrolet is just running great, and Jimmy's really up on the wheel today.
On the restart, it is Jimmy Spencer, Ricky Rudd, Kenny Schrader, Ryan Newman, Mark Martin, Jeff Gordon, Jeff Green, Tony Stewart, Jimmie Johnson.
We get up on that outside. It's just got a tippy toe here. Rudd would like to get out in front of that 11 car and does.
Still got Kurt Busch in the 97 to contend with. Kurt a lap down.
Kurt was pretty speedy, though, on that restart we just had and able to stay out in front of Rudd. Here we go. Chapter 2.
Battle for 6. Jeff Gordon and Jeff Green. Tony Stewart right there with them.
What Green is going to find is he is the rock between two hard places.
Now it looks like that bottom groove definitely prevailing down at 1 and 2. Green and Stewart together.
They got together.
Stewart can't get underneath Mark Martin.
Oh, but he will.
Side, outside.
Behind Tony Stewart, got Jimmie Johnson. He wants to take advantage of that bottom groove moving in the 48 car.
Boy, it's hard to come up off of turn 2 underneath somebody and accelerate hard like Tony's doing. That tells you his car's handling pretty good. Tony's faster, but he's pinned down on the inside by Mark. If he could ever clear Mark, he can go on, I think. Meanwhile, up at the ranch,
Mr. Spencer has pulled out to over a second lead in just about 4 laps.
And he and Ricky Rudd turning identical lap times.
Now, you just remember, this cat, Jimmy Spencer, won both Busch races here last year. He was leading, or was going to win the Busch race here this year and had a mechanical failure, so he knows how to get the car right for this joint.
Spencer out front of Rudd by a full second.
Easy in, put laps on the board here.
Bobby Labonte has returned to the race, damage repaired, and now Dale Jarrett comes back on the racetrack.
Here, Jimmy Spencer spotter telling him to ease it in. Where you beat people here and where you run fast lap times, it's not overdriving the entrance. It's beating them off the corner.
Man, it's crowded down there getting into turn 1. There's not enough room for 2 cars to get in there side by side, but they keep doing it.
And Jeff Green climbs the hill in turn 3.
That could be a flat tire from all that rubbing. He's been banging around and getting pushed around.
We talk about that a lot. You could knock a valve stem off.
And if you get up out of the groove, there's just enough trash up there that...
right there, left rear tire possibly could be.
Or that'd be a shame because Green has really had a fast car today and he's done well with it.
I don't believe, don't look like we have a flat tire.
What happened was he got up out of the groove, picked up some of that loose rubber and trash up out of the groove, and it took him a lap or 2 to get it cleaned off and get going again.
Did you ever have gum stick to your shoe? It's kind of the same thing. You have to scrape it all off before you can take a normal step again, and that's what happens to these tires.
Yeah, they're hot, they're sticky, and any trash that's on the racetrack when you get up out of the groove, it'll stick right to them. Whoa, there's a car high.
Sadler. And Joe Nemechek. You see he has climbed to 10th. Now Nemechek had to start this race last because of the driver change. He's subbing for Johnny Benson, who has an injured rib from Friday night's Busch race.
And he said, you know, I was sitting at home watching Happy Hour, and obviously Johnny had a good car. All I had to do is get in and get comfortable.
Mike Skinner, turn 2.
I don't think there's a caution, though, is there?
That's about the second or third car in turn 2 in the last 3 laps we've seen have a problem. Elliott Sadler just a couple of laps ago.
I think it's just a product of trying to arc it down in there, Larry, and there's just not any grip there. The cars twitch.
Turned down in John Andretti of the 43 car and got him up in high stuff. Looks like Ward Burton, the 22 car pole sitter, he's going to be back on the racetrack after having the transmission problems.
36 laps down. In a car that coulda, woulda, shoulda won it. Jimmy Spencer's opened his lead now to 0.8 of a second.
We're trying to keep up with all the action, but it's hard to.
9 cautions so far, 130 laps to go, and the Pontiac Excitement 400 has lived up to its name. 9 caution flags so far. And don't forget, right after today's race on FX, special extended post-race coverage for you on Speed Channel. Right after we go off the air, you can switch over to Speed for more interviews and race analysis. Then Monday night at 7 Eastern, 9 Pacific, Michael Waltrip, Johnny Benson, Kenny Schrader relive the weekend on NASCAR Inside Winston Cup with Alan Bestwick. To get Speed Channel, call 888-22-SPEED. Kenny Schrader and Mark Martin battling now for 8th place.
Yeah, that's it. Get that rhythm back. Let's stay right there.
Look at the up and down day of Matt Kenseth.
He's battling Ricky Craven here now for 13th. And just remember, we restarted this race today at lap 66. He was sitting on pit road going 2 laps down before you even got the green flag.
And folks, this is why when a guy's up there racing that leader and you say, why does he keep doing that? This is why he keeps doing that. To get back on the lead lap, get back in the race, and he's going to salvage some pretty good day here.
Let's have a look back through this field from Jimmy Spencer, the race leader. 0.8 of a second back. We'll find Ricky Rudd, the 2nd place car, whose lap times are right identical to Spencer on the watch, within 100th of a second right now. As we've kind of gotten into a cruise control phase of this race. Ryan Newman has been the leading rookie in this race all day. He's 3rd, but he's 4.7 seconds and a bunch of lapped cars behind Spencer. 15th place, Jeff Burton, Joe Nemechek, Terry Labonte battling. You know, for 275 laps, there's always been a battle somewhere on this racetrack.
We can find a battle. Right now, Rusty's got his hands full with a 77. That's a battle.
'21st place was Wallace and Blaney. That's I think that's Dale Jarrett's wounded car behind, though there are several that look like that.
And
that's not Jarrett.
Sterling Marlin just keeps kind of inching his way up through the field too. Mike, he's sitting there in 7th place and racing Tony Stewart and pretty hard right now.
Yeah, after his pit stop, Darrell, he was 22nd, and now Sterling's up there fighting for 6th.
Got a pretty good car.
See Kyle Petty going a lap down after that spin a while ago, but he stayed on the lead lap, but here he's going to go a lap down.
A couple of lap cars, Compton, Newman, Earnhardt Jr. after a trip to the garage, and here's 3rd place Ryan Newman. He's 4.8 seconds off the lead.
He's got a bunch of distance between him and the 2nd place car and him and the 4th place car.
4th and 5th.
5 clear, all clear.
Mentor protege, Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, 4th and 5th.
Clear hop, boys, clear hop.
You know, I got to think that if I was Jimmy Johnson, I'd say, you know, if I just run behind Jeff Gordon, I'm going to do okay. And every now and then I might win one, or every now and then I might get a chance to pass him.
And here's the 6th place car, Darrell, Tony Stewart.
Boy, he has used that thing up today. The right side has beat all the pieces on that thing.
Now Sterling Marlin. There's Marlin in the picture. Silver Coors Light Dodge. And behind him, Mark Martin, the 8th place car.
Mark seems to be a little bit better, Larry, after they run a while.
Which that's not unusual. That happens with his style and his setup a lot.
Good day for Jeremy Mayfield as well. He's in 9th place, right on Martin's bumper.
That's a good run for Jeremy. He's just been kind of hanging out right there on the outside of the top 10. Now he's sitting there in 9th position.
And look who's climbed to 10th after being 2 laps down making repairs on pit road.
Well,
Matt Kenseth.
Let me tell you, when you've come from 2 laps down, you are so pumped up there's a good chance this kid could win this race.
Now 11th is Jeff Green.
You know, a car that's in 12th, I don't think we'd give him a nod today, is Steve Grissom in this 44 car. He started back in like the 29th position, and they came up here and tested. I talked to his brother-in-law / crew chief, said they had a good test here, and he's been right there on the verge of the top 10 all day long, stepping in this car just 3 races ago.
Meanwhile, Ricky Rudd has erased that 0.8 of a second deficit. He's caught Jimmy Spencer.
Right now, they're fixing to start to catch the tail end of the pack, which definitely makes a difference. As we talked about several times earlier, your patience, that's where you really have to use it, working these lap cars. And cars that's trying to stay on the lead lap.
Early in the race, Spencer radioed his crew, said he was guilty of over-driving the car. The car was fine. Whoa. Now he's under pressure from Rudd.
Whoa. I mean, right now, Ricky's so much better through the middle of the corner. Got underneath in turn 2. He's going to take the lead here going in lap 3.
You know what happened there?
15 laps to go.
He was looking back. He's looking back to see what was going on behind him, and I think he about lost it off of 2 over there.
Rudd led 67 laps earlier here. Kind of surprised to reread the record book that he'd only won twice here. He could have won a half a dozen at this racetrack. Celebrates his birthday here in the race weekend in September, and he's from Chesapeake, so this has always been Ricky Rudd's home racetrack. Matt Kenseth on the comeback trail past Jeff Green and looking at Sterling Marlin there for 9th place.
And you know, we talk about being 2 laps down, not giving up, but Darrell, what kind of frame of mind would that put you in to know? And I know we restarted at lap 66 today, but basically he's 2 laps down today before they even throw the green flag.
Well, your attitude could be just put it in the garage. You know, we're all messed up. We're 2 laps down, but he didn't have that attitude. He had that I can still win this race attitude, and by golly, he's putting on a great show here. I don't think we've said enough about where he's come from.
Now Sterling's backing up. Jeremy Mayfield went past him, and now Kenseth. Now Dale Jarrett, who crashed heavily and got stuck in the mud in the front straightaway. He's back out after repairs and a lot of duct tape.
That thing is ugly. He ain't got no alibi. He's just plain old ugly.
Need some parts off the big brown truck. 110 laps to go. When they come back to the line, Ricky Rudd out in front. Finish was 12th at Darlington, but in his last 5 races, well, 4 out of 5. 3rd at Bristol, 4th at Texas, 7th at Martinsville, 14th at Talladega, and 3rd at California.
We talk about this racetrack going from a half to a 3/4 mile. Back in 1988, the team that won that race with Davey Allison was that 28 car.
Darrell, how about Ryan Newman? He has now come up to 2nd place.
That car looks really, really good, and it seems like the longer they run, the better it gets. He's moving up through the field, challenging for 2nd.
Steve Burns is in Newman's pit.
Mike with crew chief Matt Borland. Matt, what is Ryan saying about the car? Tell us about your strategy for the end of this race.
He's pretty happy right now. The car feels pretty good to him. We're just going to pit here one more time and probably take 4 tires and see how it goes at the end.
Newman's car is doing something really it's fun to drive when they'll do it. He is really getting back in the throttle in the middle of the corner. That's where he's really making a lot of time. Car's sticking to the bottom of the racetrack, and he is jumping back in that throttle. Jeff.
You know, Jeff Hammond, what we're looking at here, we're 100 laps to go. Most of the leaders, Ricky Rudd, Ryan Newman, Jimmy Spencer, all were on pit road at lap 216. That definitely makes it where they can do it on 1 stop. But one key could be when to make that stop. Pit early, get advantage of those 4 tires, but when you do that, you know what the downside is, the old caution flag.
Yeah, you've really got to roll the dice right here. It puts a lot of pressure on the crew chief as well as the spotters to try to kind of like see what's going on with the rest of the race. You got a big pack. Hey, I want to stay out until they kind of split up and break up a little bit. If you're leading this race, you definitely would like to see a lot of guys pit before you do. So if the caution flag does come out, you get the advantage of putting these guys down a lap so you don't have to race them later on. All these things right now, hey, that's what them guys get paid the big bucks for, is to make that good decision right here at the end.
Hey, Jeff, and the other thing I'm telling you as a driver is don't bring me in the pit when somebody's in the pit box in front of me or behind me if it's going to be under green. Give me a clear shot at it.
Exactly. You need to also look all the way up and down pit road. You don't want to have to contend with anybody if you can have that happen. let you know far enough in advance so you can pick a hole, get down. This is one of those racetracks we've seen earlier. If you back off too soon, you could get turned just trying to get down on pit road. A lot of time's got to be given to let these guys know what's happening.
But this might be our last stop. We can't have any mistakes. We can't have any lug nuts fall off. Driver, you can't speed on pit road coming in or leaving. It'll end our day.
Don't beat yourself, guys. That's the main thing. Don't beat yourself.
Ryan Newman eating into Ricky Rudd's lead.
He's closing, buddy. I'll tell you, he's got a fast hot rod under him right now.
But right now, Ricky Rudd's in all kinds of traffic, plus a lot of cars trying to stay on the lead lap. John Andretti, Ken Schrader, Bill Elliott.
Yeah, there's some cars here now that are going to be difficult to pass.
And amazingly, despite 9 caution flags, there are still 40 cars on the racetrack. Only Jerry Nadeau, Frank Kimmel, and Randy Renfro have retired from the event. They're still trying to fix Kevin Harvick's car, but this track is still pretty chock full of race cars to navigate through.
Yeah, and a lot of them are torn up, like Dale Jarrett's and some of them, but boy, that's got to make you. That's got to be the car owner's nightmare, getting passed by the pupil.
There's a battle for fourth. Jimmy Johnson takes fourth from his part owner, Jeff Gordon.
Jimmy was in our Kung Fu opening at the top of the show, and, you know, Grasshopper, whatever, I don't know. I didn't ever watch that show.
But, you know, back to that strategy, Darrell, no matter what, these guys are within about 10 or 15 laps of having to come to pit road because they're going to be up there about 110 laps on tires and fuel.
Larry, have you ever felt like that maybe you and I spent way too much time in the garage area when we listened to Mike and Chris? What is all this? They've watched too many movies. All I know is about race cars.
All I've ever watched is the Weather Channel and FX and Fox.
I was going to get a good night's sleep last night, and I flipping through the channels.
Whoa,
what's on? Last American Hero.
Rusty just went up the hill here. He's got another. Something wrong with Rusty's car.
Yeah, and Ricky Rudd's right on him. He's going to have to go around the outside of him, put a lap down. He's got a problem. He's got another. Oh, Ricky Rudd hard into the outside wall.
No.
Our leader.
Here comes the land rush back to the caution flag.
Holy cow.
Newman the leader. Hermie Sadler gets a lap back. Rusty slides up toward the wall as the right side tire's down.
Rusty's got a right front tire down. He's going to tear the nose off the thing trying to get back to the pits. But, you know, I don't know what happened with Rudd. I'm not sure. It didn't look like there was any contact, although, you know, Rusty was there slow going in the corner, but we got to take a look at this.
But Ricky may have got up in that sealer where there's no grip, and that may have been what happened as he was going around.
Every time we've seen a car get a little high down there in turn 1, this is what they get this kind of result.
Watch the
There's
28.
Rusty. Ricky goes around. Oh yeah, he rubbed him. He rubbed him. He sure did.
Get to the bottom now. You're clear of the bottom. Clear of the bottom. Outside.
Oh yeah. Yeah, just brushed.
Inside and outside.
Just enough to get him out of shape.
Take it all. Go to the caution. Beat that car back to the caution. Inside and outside.
Jimmy Spencer has pitted. He said that the only problem with the car is he's beginning to lose the front end. So far, every pit stop has been fast, including that one for 4 tires and fuel.
A hard crash at the end of the pit wall. Robbie Gordon has run into the inertia barrier and come to rest at the end of the concrete wall.
And what all the water is, this is water barrels filled with water to keep from hitting the end of that pit wall.
Yeah, those are water barrels, and that's concrete.
The window net's down, so he is indicating to rescue workers he can get out. But that water barrel was designed by a great road racer, John Fitch, who raced for Cunningham at Le Mans. The Fitch inertia safety barrier is found on highway, bridge abutments all over the country. And it's also used to good effect, as it was right there here at Richmond.
We got cars. We got cars everywhere, Rick. 28 on turn 1 and 2, 31 down here in 3 and 4. What a mess.
I know his car is tore up, but could you imagine hitting that wall right there without those water barrels there, or without that barrier?
And Rusty's tire he finally made it to pit road a lap later.
Yeah, what he's got to be worried about is if it knocks the nose off of it. Looks like he's going to make it around okay. And once again, Rusty Wallace had a left rear down or right rear down over there, caused that big wreck. This time he's got a right front down, took the leader out.
And one big problem he could encounter, we talked about it earlier, thinking that's about what happened to Bobby Hamilton, is before he gets to his pit box and gets a tire on there, is rubbing that sway bar arm off.
Look way up at the top of the racetrack.
There you see Robbie Gordon.
Whoa.
You see all the water.
Yeah. It's, you know what happened? He was probably coming around there and they told him to pit, and he tried to turn down into the pit lane and was going too fast.
Now from Kenny Schrader.
Oh.
Well, that's the way that.
If you turn on pit road late, if you turn on the pit road late, you're going to get a lot of debris on your tires.
And this race is going to be red flag. You're going to stop the cars to clean up at turn 2 and at turn 4. But that's how that barrier is supposed to work, Darrell. The water is in there in several compartments separated by foam, and it's designed to disperse the energy so that car and its driver don't have to absorb it.
It sure worked. See all the foam in there.
And Robbie Gordon's able to walk away.
That pit wall has been extended around further around this turn. When we first came here, if they redid the track, the pit wall ended right here about pit number 36, and everybody was worried about running into the end of it, so they extended it on further into the turn, and it tightened up the entrance to pit road a little bit.
Yeah, because before they extended it, I mean, the cars were racing just a couple of feet off of it. In fact, you'd go up there and kind of skim those barrels every once in a while.
And Ricky Rudd, who, like Jimmy Spencer Friday night, was likely on his way to winning this race, ends up with his car destroyed.
Well, Rusty's got a right front tire down, and you got very little control over your car.
Your car won't turn.
It just won't turn, and he slipped up there and just got into the side of to Rudd there.
From Kurt Busch's car.
Oh. That's the 12 crew there. He's taking the lead with all this going on.
Someone's misfortune is always somebody else's good fortune. In this case, Ryan Newman takes the lead. Dick Berggren?
Well, Robbie Gordon is here, and whatever did happen to you that put you in that wall?
I don't know. I don't know if I hit oil or what happened. I was following the 77 right behind him, turned left, and it just took off.
How about that impact barrier? How much did that help you in that accident?
The impact barrier helped a lot, but really disappointing. You know, Gil Martin and everybody here at Richard Childress Racing did a good job. We didn't have a good car when we started the weekend. We just kept at it. We had a really good car at the end there. Very disappointed.
Well, we're glad the impact barrier did its job. He's okay. Mike?
You know, it almost looks like that he was following the 77, and maybe that he was going to try to go around the 77 and got some of that rubber and dirt and stuff on his tires, and the car just took off.
You know, you talk about people's fortunes. I mean, cars that got their lap back because of this. Kurt Busch, Dave Blaney, Bobby Hamilton's back on the lead lap. Kyle Petty, Bill Elliott, Mike Skinner, Kenny Schrader, all these cars get their lap back because of the leader wrecking.
So we're under a red flag with 88 laps to go, 10 caution flags. We've set a record for the 3/4 mile Richmond International Raceway for caution laps set here last September. A caution for Randy Renfro and a caution for rain last night. And then today, 8 caution flags today. Jimmy Spencer out front. It's been 247 races since his last win. He won 2 super speedway races for Junior Johnson.
You know, we keep hearing a lot of the cars complaining and drivers complaining about their cars pushing, and I think a lot has to do with this track temperature continuing to come up. It's up to almost 110 degrees. We see a lot of the cars a lap down or better pitting here, but it's up to over 110 degrees. That's 50 degrees hotter than it was last night and about 15 degrees hotter than when we started this race.
Well, Larry, a car being a little bit tight here is not a bad thing, because, again, as the sealer comes up, and I'd lot rather be a little on the snug side. All that does is makes you a little slow through the center of the corner, but it gives you good corner entry and it gives you good corner exit. And with no outside groove, all the guy can do is run into the back of it. So if you're a little tight through the center of the corner, you're going to get off the corner really, really well. And I think I'd rather have it that way with the conditions the way they are.
We talked about what the teams have had to deal with. Just look at this graphic.
Lap 148 for Dale Earnhardt's crash coming off turn 4. Then at lap 171, Dale Jarrett comes up high and comes down in front of a spinning Bobby Labonte. The 6th yellow, lap 194. Kurt Busch off of Robbie Gordon. Frank Kimmel, the 7th yellow, and then the big one, the 8th caution, lap 227. Kyle Petty on lap 247, caution number 9. And then after a bumping fracas here between Jeff Gordon, Jeff Green, and Tony Stewart, Rusty Wallace has cut down a tire, sending Ricky Rudd into the wall at lap 308, the 10th caution and the resultant red flag as Robbie Gordon, apparently, as Darrell pointed out, slid in that paint entering pit road on the asphalt and got into the water barrier. What a mess. We've got it cleaned up. We're set to go green again.
84 laps to go. 23 cars on the lead lap.
That car's pretty good on the short run, so he's really in good shape right now. His car really takes off good, and it's good for about 70 laps, so I think he's in good shape.
Jimmy Johnson, that 48 car, though, he got a heck of a run off turn 2 that time.
And Larry, like Chad said, we don't know how good we are because we've been back in traffic all day. Now here we are up front. Maybe we got something for these guys. And we see that week in and week out. You get up front, get out front, and you can carry the mail. Car looks pretty good, 48 does. He's getting through the center of the corner a little bit better than Jimmy is right now.
He's able to carry that momentum off the corner because of it.
Backing off early. Now watch him. He gassed it right there. I like that. That's a great way to be able to drive, is to back off early, float it down in there, but then gas it.
John Andretti in the 43 car had hung out on the lead lap. He just came to pit road.
Ryan Newman, Jeff Gordon. This is a battle for third.
Behind the 12, clear behind the 12.
I tell you, that outside is you can run out there, but you got to be so careful. You're going to lose positions. It kind of one step forward, 2 steps back.
Right now, that looks like what's happening to Jeff Gordon in the 24 car. Ryan Newman gets by, and Bobby Hamilton in the 55. He's still trying to get up to the front to make that other lap up.
You see how much quicker he is through the center of the corner, and that's because Jeff just cannot take a chance on gassing it too early.
Mark Martin and Tony Stewart coming into the picture. Spencer, the leader, rookies second and third, veterans fighting behind them.
Jeremy Mayfield in the 19 car, Ricky Craven in the 32. That's a battle for 7th. And how about right behind him, Jeff Burton in the 99. Started back in 23rd. Remember, he was in the big wreck with Kevin Harvick and those guys not that many laps ago. Over in turn 3, here he is in the top 10.
Boy, there's a lot of cars back here. I'm telling you, I don't know how they got any fenders left on them.
Darrell, Jimmy Johnson chasing Jimmy Spencer for the lead. How much of this is the thrill of victory from last Sunday coming out in this kid right here?
They just can't do anything wrong. I mean, they're putting great equipment under him. They're making good calls in the pits. The rest of it's just kind of easy.
They have Big Mo on their side.
They do. I mean, they got it going their way.
See the telemetry right here on Jimmy Johnson.
I just think it's an indication of when you got good resources like Hendrick Motorsports does, and they give the guy equipment like that, he's going to get the job done for you.
9,000 RPMs into turn 1, 8,800 into turn 3.
2 rookies. As we said, second and third, Johnson and Newman.
Every week it's this way. You know, we end up at the end of the day with 2 or 3 rookies up there setting the pace, 3 or 4 veterans out there chasing them.
We've had a rookie finish in the top 10 in almost every race this year.
And they've won.
Yes.
I mean, you know, it's not like they're just hanging around. I mean, they win races.
Oh, turn 2. Sorry, Kyle Petty got caught up on the outside of Mike Skinner and Dave Blaney, and that was almost another one.
Well, that makes about 40 almost then.
Only 40.
40.
I lost count.
Not the 40 that I can recall.
Right. Here's what happened.
Yep,
right there.
Trying to run 3 wide up off turn 2. That don't work.
Nope.
Is it 3 wide or 3 wide? Oh, look, is that a little bump?
I believe it was, and I don't think that Mr. Spencer's going to appreciate that. Now, remember what Kurt
Whoa!
Oh, no, there he goes around.
He's going to hit the wall. Ryan Newman takes the lead. Caution is out.
Uh-oh, look out, Rusty. Look out, Rusty. Clear low. Come on, guys.
Jimmy's trying to get going to stay on the lead lap here, and that will hand the lead.
I don't believe he's got much to get going with. No. Wadded it up pretty good.
Hands the lead to the other rookie, Ryan Newman.
Spence was got a little shove off of 2 over there, and Spencer was holding him down real tight getting into 3. Here we go. He gets into him, and this is like Bristol. Remember what Kurt Busch did to Jimmy? Gets into him a little bit. Doesn't really upset the car much.
Just a little touch.
Side by side. Now, see how close together they are and how Jimmy's leaning on him? Even here, you can pull the back end around on the car.
And notice how right after that little bump going into the turn, Spencer drives to the right and drives away.
You could already see Jimmy Johnson's wheels turn to the right.
I know why you're laughing. Tell us.
Rookie. That's what Spencer's thinking.
Right, because he knows 8 wheels corner better than 4.
Oh, yeah.
Not going to let that happen. So Jimmy Johnson becomes the latest leader to crash out of this race.
The stuff off so we can try not to lose more laps. No, you're going to have to get it off, Jimmy. All the stuff.
For the most part, none of the leaders with only 11 laps on their tires. All the leaders elected to stay out with 21 cars on the lead lap.
And another rookie takes his turn at the point, Ryan Newman.
Oh, yeah, we don't run out of rookies. We got plenty of them to throw at you.
He has some veterans lined up behind him. Jeff Gordon, Mark Martin, Tony Stewart, Jimmy Spencer, and Jeff Burke, Jeremy Mayfield, all veterans behind him.
Yeah, Spencer fell to 5th, and Dick Berggren.
Well, I was listening to Jimmy Spencer's radio when that incident occurred, and I listened to it all the way through. In fact, I just shut it off so I could talk to you. And Spencer was remarkably calm on the radio, surprisingly calm. When asked what happened, he said, well, he said,
big
crash on the racetrack.
Huge on the back.
Rusty Wallace,
point leader.
Nobody get lap back. All this started because the 11 car and Jimmy Spencer got together. They cleared it, and then all this happened behind him. I was looking dead at it.
I don't think Sterling is torn up. I think he just slid in there and stopped with a little bit of damage, but not much.
Yeah, Brett Bodine, Mark Martin, and Jimmy Spencer were all kind of tangled up there bumper to bumper.
That's the 3rd time Rusty's been. He finally got Rusty this time.
He was actually the first car to get out of shape and spin. Here's Steve Park, the 1. Terry Labonte, the 5 car. Rick Mast, the 90 car.
Pickles, cornflakes, and Pennzoil. That's not a good combination.
No, they got mayonnaise in there too, so it's. You got cornflakes, motor oil, and mayonnaise.
Right here, Jimmy Spencer in the 41, Brett Bodine in 11. Right here, Jimmy had to check up because of Mark Martin in the 6. Brett Bodine gets into his left rear quarter panel. They checked up a little bit. Rusty spins, and then this is what happens.
Yeah, that broke Rusty's momentum.
I'd write down the cars involved, but there aren't many that weren't. That might be an easier task. See Jeff Green, Kevin Harvick from above.
Or Ricky Craven in the 32, Jeremy Mayfield in the 19. Those guys just barely getting through. All those lead lap cars.
Darrell, that track narrows up in a hurry when 1 car gets sideways, let alone 2.
Well, and it's slick. I mean, the sucker's slick, and you just don't have a lot of control. He just tried to gas it and get it to turn all the way around, and he made it worse, kind of like Dale Jr.'s deal.
John Andretti, Hut Strickland, Kenny Schrader.
Point leader on pit road. I don't think Sterling's car is hurt anywhere. Got a little damage to the rear, but not much. 55 got a lap back, and I want you to look at it now.
He lost his left rear tire.
He just got back on the lead lap.
There's his tire right there.
What in the world?
Matt?
Well, Mike, down here behind the 48 pit, Jimmy Johnson's crew working feverishly on the front trying to repair this car for points. Jimmie Johnson, a heartbreaker. What happened?
Well, come under here, I guess. I don't know. I was racing hard and must have touched going into 3. Touched tires or something and got loose. Haven't been loose in there all day long. Been racing hard. Just a shame. Started 26th. Had some trouble in some pit stops and been blocked in. And we had a good shot at winning this thing today. I just hate that I made a rookie mistake or whatever there. But we'll be back. Thank everybody at Lowe's and all employee owners. We're having a lot of fun. Just hate that we crashed.
And Dick, he was apologizing to his crew chief, Chad Knaus. Chad said, don't worry about it, dude. These things happen in big league auto racing.
Sterling Marlin has just made his second of 2 pit stops. In the first stop, he pulled the right, or I shouldn't say he, I've got to be careful. This is Sterling. The crew pulled the right front fender out. Second stop, they put left side tires on it, and they pulled the left front fender. He got both of them, neither one of them very bad. Now he's got 4 fresh tires, and going to try to go see how he can do with that. Mike?
Thanks, Dick. Terry Labonte looking over the damage to his Kellogg Chevy, and Steve Part likewise. 10 cars involved in this crash as Rusty Wallace turns around and half the pack piles in. McReynolds, here are how the point standing leaders are faring. Not too well.
Yeah, but look at this guy right here and this guy right here. Now, I mean, they're lucky to even be in the race. Kent's is up there in the 9th. Busch was a lap down, and now he's up there in 11th.
And Rusty Wallace, he's been in several cautions.
He's go a little further than that, not on the graphic, but Ricky Rudd, who was in 8th, he's out of the race. Dale Earnhardt Jr., who was in 9th, he's back out there, but had his problem. So really, most of the cars in the top 10, Rusty being another one.
Rusty's up there in, what, 3rd or 4th, and he's running 28th, 2 laps down.
And they popped the top on Rusty's Ford.
Shock off and let's send him around. Get the shock off.
Shock
It
problem.
may have a busted shock on the right front.
Let me give you the 10 cars who were involved in that crash in no particular order. Michael Waltrip, Jeremy Mayfield, Steve Part, Sterling Marlin, Jeff Green, Rick Mast, Terry Labonte, Rusty Wallace, John Andretti, and Ricky Craven.
And we didn't mention that Kevin Harvick, after that bad wreck, he's back out on the racetrack. So realistically, 13 cautions, 12 cautions, and 43 cars starting. We only have 4 cars that's actually out. Robbie Gordon, Jerry Nadeau, Frank Kimmel, and Randy Renfro.
Yeah, Harvick was in that one too. That's 11 cars.
Yeah, and I haven't seen this many cars torn up since a bad night at Bristol.
Really?
This is a bad night at Bristol, isn't it?
And
it's
one
the
of the
next day.
least marked up cars in the whole place is that of Jimmy Spencer, and another is Jeff Gordon.
Ryan Newman's car looks pretty clean too.
And it does.
It's kind of funny how the guys without much damage are all in the front. Tony Stewart's car got the right side, but
one little donut on the right side of Spencer's car. That's Jimmy Johnson's tire mark. Or no, it's not. Jimmy was on the left side. That's somebody else.
Bordeaux's car is not too bad. Flames are all still intact.
Now the right front of Tony Stewart's car is
his
pretty
left
well
side
used up.
That's a good sign when it's your right side it's all beat up, not your left.
Left side looks much better than the right side.
When your right side is beat up, that means you're passing people. When your left side's beat up, that means you're getting passed.
Ryan Newman's our leader as we get ready for the restart. Only 3 times have consecutive races been won by rookies. Billy Wade, 1964, Dick Hutcherson, 1965, and Tony Stewart 3 years ago.
Be ready. Green and green.
57 laps to go.
Well, we know Newman is fast. I mean, we've seen him qualify track records on poles. Now he needs to be real consistent.
Top 3 clear the lap car of Brett Bodine, Ryan Newman, Jeff Gordon, and Tony Stewart.
And right behind Newman, a fellow who's had 18 straight DNWs. Did not win. It's Jeff Gordon.
There you go. There's side of Tony's car.
Tony Stewart in the 20. He didn't waste any time at all getting by Jeff Gordon.
I don't think he's going to waste any time at all getting by all these guys because he's looking pretty racy.
Remember, Stewart started this race among the last 3 after an engine change.
There's some kind of trend there, Mike.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen that happen. Kansas did it. Sterling did it. Now this kid's doing it.
And there where he looks so strong, he's able to drive that thing down in the corner deep, but yet it still stays on the bottom and goes to the middle of the corner, especially right down here in turn 3 and 4. Watch that thing rotate right around the bottom right there.
The car looks a little free, but that makes it fast. And you know, Tony, He's used to riding on the right rear. He's your midget sprint car driver. He's used to that.
Hey, Darrell, how about Steve Grissom, who hopped into this Petty ride, the number 44, just 3 races ago, and he's out here running in 7th place.
The 1993 Busch champion.
Yeah, and I mean, he hadn't really been doing anything but testing. So, you know, it's not surprising it'd take him 2 or 3 races to kind of get back in the groove. But he's in the groove today.
That car and Mayfield's both look pretty good.
Tony Stewart is making some ground up on Ryan Newman. About 2 car lengths. 52 to go next time by.
Well, let's see. That's 2 more hours. So.
Oh, no.
We're averaging 25 miles an hour today, so it's just...
Still have 19 cars on the lead lap.
And still have 39 cars officially in the race, 34 of them on the racetrack.
1 minute we're down to 10 or 12 cars on the lead lap, and then all of a sudden there's a caution, and we have 19.
Well, when the leader wrecks, a bunch of cars didn't get their lap back.
Over and over again.
Dick Berggren.
With one of the real veterans of Winston Cup racing, Terry Labonte. Such a wild race today, and we had a wild race on Friday night. So many accidents. Why is this happening?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what caused that wreck that we were in there. I saw some guys get sideways up there, lap cars, you know, in the way a lot. And the track doesn't really have 2 grooves. It's got about a groove and a half, so it makes it pretty tough there. But just one of those deals.
Disappointed Terry Labonte. We'll look forward to seeing you in Maryland.
He was on the lead lap when that accident happened off turn 2.
And having a Terry Labonte kind of day, quietly hanging around the back 5 there.
Things heating up for the lead. Tony Stewart in the middle of the corner and into the corner. He looks a little better than Ryan Newman, Darrell.
He's gaining on. He's inching up on him. Newman just needs to pay attention to where he's going. Don't look back. When you look back, you lose time. That's an old veteran trick. A.J. Foyt told me that. Running behind a guy, bump him just a little bit. When he looks back, pass him. And if he happens to take his hand off the wheel and shake his fist at you, hit him again.
Joe, I think with 47 laps to go, Tony, he realizes that he's faster than Ryan. You know, he's not. I don't think he's pushing the envelope right now. He needs to pick and choose where he tries to get by Ryan.
But does it look like Newman is beating Stewart up off the corner?
Looks like he just kind of got his own little pace going here, and it's working for him. And Tony's trying to drive in real hard to catch him, but Newman's just kind of doing his own thing. He's a savvy kid, smart.
Stewart closes the gap into 1. Newman extends it coming out of turn 2. Pretty equal through 3 and 4.
Car looks good. It's right around the bottom. He's back in the throttle plenty early. Doesn't look like he's abusing the car right now, just hot rodding it around there.
Since his rookie season, 1999, Tony Stewart leads the league in short track victories with 4.
Probably could have had 5 if he hadn't pitted at Martinsville when his teammate won. Had the best car. Jeff and Larry talked him into pitting and putting tires on.
There's the Mark Martin slipping underneath Jeff Gordon. This is for 3rd.
You see Jimmy Spencer in the 41 right behind this group, along with Jeff Burton in the 99.
I'm not sure if Ryan Newman and Tony Stewart have ever raced each other in open wheels or not. That's where they both came from. Tony may have been out of the series by the time Ryan got going pretty good, but I bet they've raced each other before.
Dick Berggren's with another driver who got swept up in that wreck.
Steve Park, another disappointing day. What happened out there? That was wild.
Lap cars. I mean, that's now they line them up on the inside, and they, I guess, race and get their lap back and end up spinning rusty, and it's just a shame. It just got all of us caught up in it, and we just got the Pennzoil car where we needed it. I mean, the adjustments that Paul made were great, and the car's just starting to handle good. There's 70 to go, then you get involved in a wreck. So I mean, just disappointing. I mean, I just want my luck to turn around. I mean, the finishes are not indicative of what this car is capable of doing. Just a shame. I mean, I got to keep my head up. and I got to keep my spirits about me, but it's hard right now. I mean, it just, you know, it just seems like no matter what you do, you think you're in the right direction, then all of a sudden you get involved in a wreck. So I'm kind of disappointed right now.
It's going to feel so good when it does turn around, Steve. Mike?
Steve Park was also a lead lap car who got swept up in that big crash off turn 2.
Well, that 17 car continues to nibble its way to the front.
He's only got 40 laps to get there, and he's a long way behind. But boy, if he can get another car too and catch a caution,
he got a caution,
he's going to be in the middle of this race for the lead.
He's pretty fast. He's 22. He's 21.8. Leaders are 21.7. So they're still a little quicker than he is, but he's in traffic. He's in traffic, so he can catch a break.
But just look at the interval. He continues to win a little way at it just a little bit here.
Yep.
Jeff Burton's coming. Took 5th place from Jimmy Spencer a lap ago here. And
Bobby Hamilton's the one I feel sorry for. He got that lap back on that last caution, came in the pits, and I guess they left with the lug nuts not tight on the left rear, and his wheel came off. And I'm not going to sing the song. I mean, that's old news.
Yeah, he's in 24th a lap down.
But you know the song I'm thinking of.
You picked a fine time.
To leave me loose wheel. That was a big hit for me.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yep.
That and Don't Take You. What's the name of that song? Kenny Rogers song. Oh, Ruby. Yeah.
Trouble turn 2. Kenny Schrader and Mike Skinner.
And Skinner was having a pretty good go of it.
Yeah, he was. And caution is out on the speedway here. About 35 laps to go. Caution number 13.
One inside of you there, the 88. Now you're clear.
That car was pretty undamaged.
I tell you, I don't know where Skinner's going, but I keep a camera on him.
See what we got.
He don't look happy.
Got a radiator.
Got the radiator.
And if the thing don't lay down on him before he gets up there to Kenny Schrader, he may be going up to let Kenny know just how unhappy he is.
Well, Schrader went in the corner outside of Blaney, and Skinner was up outside of Schrader.
There's just nothing, you know, when you get up out of the groove down there in the first turn, you go around. That's just kind of the way it's been all day.
You know, Darrell, I'm glad I'm up here in the broadcast booth. These leaders, they have 32 laps on their tires. There's going to be about 30 laps to go. But what I'm seeing, though, with the lap times, I'm not sure the best place to be is out front on those 30 lap tires.
I ain't coming in.
Okay, you're staying out. And it looks like that's what the leaders are going to do, stay out. Jimmy Spencer comes in the 41 car.
He has to because he's been falling back, Larry.
He was 0.3 of a second.
His lap times
lap
were
off the leader.
He's been falling back, so it makes sense for him to come in.
Ricky Craven pits, along with Kenny Schrader and Jeff Green. All of these are lead lap cars still.
Mike Skinner has gone to the garage. This has been a wreck fest. 13 caution flags, 10 of them for accidents. Let's ride with Kenny Schrader.
See what happens here.
I mean, how many times have we seen that right there? You know, it won't work over there. You know, you're chopping people off, going up, coming down. It just won't work getting into one or on exit of turn 2.
And it's one of those situations where when you go in there, you kind of all shrunk up in the seat just hoping that guy doesn't touch you, because you know if he does, you're out of here.
Here we go. Let's go.
Now Schrader's teammate Joe Nemechek's having a strong run here, subbing for Johnny Benson, who hurt his ribs on Friday night in the Busch race. Nemechek's in the top 10.
You know, right in front of him, a guy that was a lap down. Second in the points, Kurt Busch in that 97 car.
97 and 17, they got to be the story of the day, to come from where they have, and they're back in the hunt.
And another good day for Hut Strickland in 11th place.
Teammate to the pole sitter, Ward Burton. Those guys came up here and tested. You know, it looks like here about third of the way through the season, crew chief Philippe Lopez, Hut Strickland, that Dodge program, starting to come together.
Philippe is fixing things. You walk in the joint, you know, you got to fix things. You got to get the cars right. You got to get them where the driver wants them. That just takes time.
Now, I'm sure he smoked about 2 truckloads of cigarettes, but he's fixed some things.
But Philippe's a great organizer.
He is that.
He'll get it right.
DW, Larry, Mike, take a quick look right now. But you got the 6, the 99, the 17, and the 97, all Roush cars in the top 10 here again today. Trying to keep their owner who's sitting up there in Michigan watching him on television keep him happy.
And all of them, other than Mark Martin, has had eventful days. Jeff Burton in the wreck in turn 3. Matt Kenseth 2 laps down, restarted lap 66, and Kurt Busch at one time a lap down. So they have overcome a lot of adversity today as well.
On a normal day, they'd be out of the race because we wouldn't have had all these cautions. But on a day like today, you can get back in the race because of all the cautions, as long as you're not one of them.
Never quit. Never quit. That's the main thing. When you're trying to do good in a Winston Cup race and score points and get the victory lane, you just can't quit. Caution cars off.
Got to be like a junkyard dog.
There's a lot of them out there. Right, grab a hold of them. We'll restart with 31 to go.
18 cars still on the lead lap. The biggest thing a lot of these lead lap cars have to fight still is those lap cars. Tony Stewart, he turned down to the bottom into turn 1, tried to get underneath Ryan Newman. It didn't work.
Newman and Stewart will get way away from these other guys, though, because they're going to be hung up on the outside with, as you said, lap cars.
Who do you like here, Darrell?
I don't like anybody.
Should I rephrase that?
I don't. I like Tony Stewart. I mean, you know, he knows how to win here. And the reason I said that is because every time I like somebody, they wreck.
Mark Martin, he finally gets by Elliott Sadler, the lap car and the 21 car. Now Jeff Gordon's trying to get around him in 4th place.
On your quarter, inside.
Yikes. Yikes.
Oh, he's got room.
He doesn't either. Now he does.
Yeah, it looked like Ryan Newman just ran out of racetrack over in turn 2. Tony's got the bottom line here through 3 and 4. They're side by side, all 4. 28 laps to go. Meanwhile, Mark Martin in that 6th car, he likes seeing them race side by side because he's pulling up to him.
And Newman's got to be careful up on that outside. No way he can hang. Nobody's been able to all day. That was inevitable. I mean, Tony's got a good car, and like I said, he's won here, so he knows what to do.
Right behind these guys, Jeff Burton in the 99. Jeff Gordon cannot get his car to the bottom of the racetrack, and they continue to go by him.
He's been hung up on the outside all day long.
Newman right to the bumper of Stewart.
Well, now we saw this happen with the last rookie that was back there trying to fight for the win and the lead. Don't want to mess around too much with those veterans.
And Mark Martin in the 6th, he's right up on these guys' rear bumper. We got a 3-car race right here at the front.
And Mark's car now, I got to say, early on, it gets better the longer they run. And he's been out there on those tires a while. He could be sitting in good shape. Obviously, I'm sure he's happy just to be where he is at this point of the race.
Even though a lot of them's been cautioned, these guys have been out there on those tires about 65 laps. Everybody was on pit road about lap 310 for fresh tires.
Jeff Burton in 4th, Gordon now 5th, Mayfield 6th, Kenseth 7th, Steve Grissom 8th, Kurt Busch 9th, and Hut Strickland 10th.
Boy, and I tell you again, just talk about Steve Grissom. He's doing a great job. I thought Busch was all over him. I thought Busch was going to make the move on him, but he's pulled away from him. Having a good day there, buddy, Steve.
Matt.
Well, Mike, under that caution, Greg Zipadelli was talking to his driver, Tony Stewart, just about their pit strategy. Should they stay out? Should they come in for tires? They looked at the leaderboard, 18 cars in the lead lap, and they remembered back last month to Martinsville. They had a great race car, came in and pitted. They had a lot of track position to try to make up, and they couldn't quite get there. They didn't want to make the same mistake twice.
Trouble in turn 2. Caution is out because of a lot of smoke from Dave Blaney's car going down into turn 1. All the drivers staying way up high above where the fluid was put down from Blaney's Ford.
And you know, Jeff, a while ago, I kind of questioned, would the leaders pit, would they not pit? We're going to get restarted here maybe with about 15, 18 laps to go. I'm packing my pit equipment up. Stay out, unless you're at the back of the lead lap cars. Come in and get you 4 tires. But if you're at the front, you cannot give that track position up, Jeff.
No, $1,800 a set of tires. I'm going to stay out.
Darrell, look, stay off the radio, driver. Stay out. Stay focused on what's going on, and you can win this race. You got yourself a good race car, and I agree with Larry 100%. The only difference here, Buddy Rowe, I packed my stuff up about 25 laps ago.
Well, which car am I driving?
Hey, you're the leader right
Maybe
now.
you're driving Jeff Green's car, the 30 car, because he just pitted.
Dick Berggren.
Jeff Gordon's chassis is not the way he'd like it right now. Gordon is running in 5th spot. He said the car is loose going in and is pushing, his words, like crazy coming off the corners.
14 caution flags ties the record for the 3/4 mile configuration here at Richmond. When they come around, there will be just 20 laps to go. Start next time by. Jimmy Johnson has returned to the racetrack after a long time in the garage. Getting set for what we hope is the final restart of the day.
Well, we got 17 cars on the lead lap. And, we got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars a lap down. So we got 7 guys that are lap down are going to be racing each other up on the inside there.
And then once again, the problem, Burton in 4th and Jeff Gordon in 24. Mayfield, Kenseth, good race cars, but they have to fight those lap cars on the inside.
Exactly.
And they waved off the restart. It'll be at least another lap. Matt?
Well, Mike, if Tony Stewart can hold on and win this race, it'll be a nice rebound after finishing 29th in each of the last 2 races. He had dropped from 5th to 10th in points in that time. And really for Stewart, though, the second third of the season is when he really comes on. He really starts to score some points. He's hoping to make another big push in the points, and this would certainly help that effort.
Tony Stewart leads the league in bonus points for leading laps. He and Dale Earnhardt Jr. 45 each. Stewart will have that lead by himself today. He came in here 10th in the overall standings and will move past Earnhardt Jr. and Ricky Rudd today.
Well, you got to clean them up good right now, Larry. Those tires are hot. They've been out there a long time. They'll pick up just about anything to roll over. Rubber, stay dry, anything. So you got to clean them up good. Don't want to spin the tires on this restart.
Exactly. That low gear, you got to be easy with that throttle. You can't be too patient. Can't give up anything, but you got to be easy. Don't spin those rear tires.
And you don't want to go down here in the first turn with debris on your tires and shove up and everybody go by you.
You ready? You ready? Green, green, green.
17 laps to go.
Boy, Tony Stewart, he had a well of a restart.
Haven't seen a restart like that since we watched Richie Evans. Wow.
That's a launch. He launched it.
Mark Martin in the 6, Jeff Burton in the 99. They get by John Andretti as well as Jeff Gordon. So now no lap cars to contend with, and they should have clean racetrack the rest of this race.
Roush Racing teammates nose to tail, Martin and Burton. Meanwhile, Newman is closing right back up on Stewart.
Oh, I don't think it. Tony can't give up on. He can't think that he's not going to hear from Ryan Newman one more time. I think Ryan's going to get up there with about 10 to go and see what he's got.
Burton now 3rd, Mark Martin 4th, then Gordon, Mayfield, Kenseth, Grissom, Busch, and Strickland.
Pretty intense back in here for his 8th, 9th, 10th, long in there. Everybody's bunched up, 5th on back. Guys are on the lead lap.
Oh, Busch against the wall. He and Strickland get together in the back straightaway. And Kurt Busch in trouble in turn 3.
I believe he's got a tire down. No caution, though. No caution.
Right front.
He's been up against that wall, I'm telling you, so many times today.
Cars coming. Cars are
He's
coming.
another one of those that's on a backup car, like
Hang on
Dale
to it
Jarrett
now.
was.
Easy, easy.
He's already
Come on
used this
down.
one up about 3 times.
Rear, left side.
Looks like the right sides are down too on that car.
Yep. He's trying to make it to the pits.
I think he's going to be out. I think he's going to sit out on the frame.
Come see you, Jimmy.
Which is really going to hurt him coming in here second in the points.
Left side tires on it.
Short tracks are hard on these rookies.
Right here, Kurt, 5 away, right here.
Good grief.
Left rear down, a
Look at
rub
all
on
that
the right
junk
front.
on the back straightaway.
I just don't think they'll throw a caution, though, Darrell. It's down the bottom of the racetrack. Normally you don't see cars down there. 10 to go next time by.
I'm sure not wanting them to throw one, I can tell you that.
Kurt Busch gets his tires changed, and he's headed back out. He's going to lose a couple, 3 laps. Jeff Burton in the 99, he's really pulled away from his teammate, Mark Martin, the 6 car, 10 laps to go that time by.
You know, before this last caution, Mark was up there racing the 20 and the 12. So his that last restart hurt him.
Jeremy Mayfield putting the pressure to Jeff Gordon now.
Got him. He's got a nose under him. He should be able to get under him in the corner.
Matt Kenseth in the 17 trying to latch onto the rear bumper. Jeremy Mayfield, if he takes that bottom groove away, he wants to be able to follow him through. Jeremy clears Jeff Gordon. Matt Kenseth jumps up in there. He's going to take the position away getting into turn 3. 8 laps to go this time by.
Jeff pushed up over there off the 2. Had to get up out of the gas a little bit and let them both go back.
His car has just not ran very well on the bottom today.
No, it hadn't.
Kurt Busch back to the pits when they replaced the lefts. They didn't fix the rub in the right front. Now he has new ones on it, and he's getting a penalty. He's going to be held. Craven and Nemechek side by side into turn 3. 9th place battle.
Jimmy Spencer in tow.
And I think the difference right here between Nemechek and Craven was in for tires on about lap 365, so he has much fresher tires, so it's able him to make some position along with Jimmy Spencer, who also pitted for tires. But they're about a third of a lap behind the leaders.
Yeah, the leaders are long gone. They've spaced themselves out. Tony stretching out on Newman. Newman stretching out on Burton.
Remember what Joe Gibbs said last night in the pre-race? You know, he said all his cars are starting up front. That's a good thing. They said, well, now we found a problem with the engine, but we got it fixed and we're all starting in the back. And he said, oh, well, that's a good thing. And you know what? It's going to be a good thing for Tony Stewart.
5 laps to go.
That's optimism, I can tell you.
You bet.
He's definitely starting to stretch it out on Ryan Newman. Has pretty clean racetrack in front of him.
Yep.
Kurt Busch is back out there before he's got his hands full.
He's just barely going. He would get down to the inside, but he can't.
Four to go. $14 caution flags, and half a day later, we're coming around for 3 laps to go in the Pontiac. More excitement than you can stand in a day and a half. 400.
Sterling Marlin, our points leader, he gets underneath Joe Nemechek.
Sterling,
it's a battle for 11th.
Got tires and he's going to run out of time's his problem.
But he's had the kind of day he needed for that point situation. Came in here leading by 143 points, and in second position, Kurt Busch. He's still all over the racetrack up in turn 2. 2 laps to go.
Pretty much a done deal now. How do we start this day off? Blue skies. Nothing but blue skies do I see.
White flag, Mike.
Tony Stewart has only started 7 races at Richmond International Speedway, and he's about to go to victory lane for the 3rd time here. He won at Atlanta, and if he rounds turns 3 and 4, he'll score his 2nd victory of 2002. Tony Stewart's Home Depot Pontiac wins the Pontiac Excitement 400.
Ryan Newman 2nd, Jeff Burton 3rd, teammate Mark Martin in 4th. Jeremy Mayfield finishes 5th, Matt Kenseth 6th, Jeff Gordon 7th, Steve Grissom 8th, Ricky Craven 9th, and Jimmy Spencer comes home 10th.
Substitute Joe Nemechek finished 12th. Bill Elliott quietly finished 14th. And look at our friend there, Hermie Sadler.
It's a good run.
Maintenance is easy. Just pull out the collection grid, wipe it with a cloth or sponge, and slip it back in. Through this special offer, you'll receive a $69 Bathroom Ionic Breeze. It will help even dirty bathrooms smell fresh and clean. And a $39 Car Ionic Breeze for cleaner air wherever you go. That's over $100 in gifts, free with your order. Call now and get a free 5-year replacement guarantee and ask about free shipping.
Call 1-800-318-8574. That's 1-800-318-8574.
Are you stuck with Deborah's parents for the whole weekend?
Oh, we hardly get to see them, so when they come to town, we want to spend as much time as possible with them. I've been told that's how I feel.
Hey, folks, don't you weep, don't you bawl. Today we're working drywall. Right, all?
You have to forgive Tim. His sense of humor is a little off the drywall.
Today we're going to show you how to tape the joints of your wallboard together.
That's right.
taping technique is critical. An inferior job can result in unsightly lumps and bulges.
Kind of makes you wonder who taped up Al.
Well, there are many mechanical tools used in drywalling. I like to use the Binford 6100 wet tape banjo.
With the wet tape banjo, you can apply your tape and your mixture in one swipe, as well as doing a good rendition of Susanna. Oh, Susanna, oh, don't you cry for me.
As you can see,
came from Alabama with a banjo woman.
I've loaded my banjo with quality pre-mixed compound available at any hardware store.